Biafrans reject the global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up to now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent lives that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
Fighting not only against the Nigerian government, but against the world.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop.
Going to lower the flag of Nigeria and raise the flag of the United States of Biafra.
na mose vive na kiti enui na tulaje bwana mabuli vemelem kuja atibe kwa tulane bovo timalugo no nugodo kokodo nya no be hule Dani mona tunilu na ya kalakana kwa lerinu mwangulu ngula matali woso jere futa mbaka njuba diali kama abulezi okwenu na bakala keluego nezienu n'ụbọchị akala keluego n'odezi maka na ababa n'ụwa aralu n'uteyi ụmụ Biafra kụnyenu ụmụ Biafra kụnyenu ụnanụkwara ịgbọnọ n'ụlọ mọnọ n'ezi bịa kenenu ọnọ n'enu lila tọnọ na ndagwurugwu senyi tọnọ n'ugwu gbọna ataghị Kanye wele fobi wena tabanu ubanyo Makana nyuko no 1 million no we bofu wa mabulezi okwe Naka ni kwata million ba waja sienyi ka kesu ezo pabule be wero tamanu Umo Biafra kuyenu Kanye wele fobi wena tabanu ubanyo Makalo fobi abakama la nugo noi Biafra na bekele umunina Nkabo nkani Mwa adati na ijele wanyi bekele mi Akwage bulu kwekere na fando to Biafra is our hope And the Biafra is our religion God in a water cheers a moon or be born you Where's the can argue member one of Biafra land in Mongwem. My fundy moji the baby get a beach and the mountain. I was a good word in my libonine. The word in my lobia from you. To make what you cool. Papa gives a can logi Filippo F. Young. I was a one walker who Kusio na Biafra ye kunyo. Nayabu Biafra ya tulugo enata. Onavulu nayabu Biafra e kuigo. Smoko gule mwatana kanane ele. Abagise kene lugo nyendu manzinande kano. Amadike Biafra kedede. Amadike Biafra bialu.
For the simple reason that she has no jurisdiction to try me. None whatsoever. I came out of excused from my case and cannot try my case. There are things that are happening in this country that a lot of you do not know. It is my duty to make that very, very clear to all of you. Because the lies are too much. The lies are too much. I sent a petition to for personal gain. Her son and her husband are facing corruption charges. They told them this is what happens. Nobody wants to do it. That's the problem. They sent her to my case. So
Biafra government they know na exile cabinet na chukuna ndana ya agba unu baka no ya sulo be ya toka imaluge nuyi disillusionment Kadelo moni Biafra Revelation Army Umuchuku. The angels of Biafra land the great oracles of Biafra Nananunu. Anueke Nunama Nanunu Jisi Kenon. That's a go about home. Oh, to I say, can the Prime Minister H.E. Mazi Simon Weber? I was equal to be the best. I tried to move Biafra. I don't got your temper with a name. I just show you, you will not see. Yes. Makwale na kosa de malaya. Mweji mwagu kojilo sino de lonka sojilo ya tiji sojilo wala sa. Muzikwe wabato biye. Pagada gidi kebya no. Mweji wala ni yo. Tuni tukunye le di Biafra na no. No, I Mandanye na bono mweno utelanyi welienne. Mandanye na bono nudonu no mwe. Makana mbona boke kwe na bonike. Moya na no, moya no. No bivo ye dobeli ne dene no wama believe emeleme. A good legacy will last forever, ma believe emeleme. And the remembrance of my bless you.
Each and every one of you, and as I do welcome you, as always, I will ask you to welcome those around you. I welcome you by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because unlike any other, this very broadcast simulcast on multiple platforms this very day, morning, noon, or night, depending on where you are, is being relayed right across the face of this very planet Earth. A lot of people are watching, a lot of people are listening, and many of you will be blessed as a result of it. And as I do welcome you, please endeavor, or should I say, try to welcome other people as well. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. Regardless of where you are, as I said earlier, we are welcoming you, and we are going to pray as it is customary for us to do here. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you, and before we proceed, we are going to pray. As it is usual with us here on this platform, we pray because we are nothing without the Almighty. We are going to offer praise and adoration to Him as always, and I will, of course, should I say, unfailingly pray in the language of heaven. Some may misunderstand, some of them may try to misconstrue, but one thing is certain right now, in the presence of the Almighty God, Elohim, Adonai, El Shaddai in heaven, the angels are singing, worshiping, and praising the Most High with the very oldest language on the face of this very earth, the Igbo language. And that's how I'm going to pray. Ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ime ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla na ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla na ya bụ ọkaka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etuga eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ndị gboo wee tuo oge ebighị ebi. Onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ, nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịrị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. N'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọbịa nwere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ uwe na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt kwetu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbe ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị niile anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtọ na-eji mma mgbe niile. N'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anyị onwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile, anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị na-efe nwa akpụ isi ala nye, ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasisi wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikuni ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'iyi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana nwe onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi, mara onye ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise. Having handed over our proceedings to heaven, we must therefore proceed unfailingly and very speedily to preach this very gospel that we have been mandated to preach this very day.
There are people who are incorruptible. Incorruptible, I said. There is nothing that moves them. I have come to this earth to do one thing and one thing alone, is to fight and get Biafra. I have not come to this world to be a millionaire, to own hotel, to own oil block, to be close to the president of Nigeria. That is not my job. My job is, what have you done to restore Biafra? When I die and meet Chukwu Abiyama, that's what they will ask me. Did you get Biafra? Not how many cars you had, how many hotels you built, how many convoys you can travel with. Irrelevant.
When I was talking to very heavy players, big men at UN, what they said to me is, but you stopped. That means that what you're fighting for is not worth dying for. If your freedom is not worth dying for, then the world cannot take you seriously. That is the way it is. Any day, if you like, listen, if just do us, I don't need your money. What we want from you is 1 container load only. We won't come to you again. Let me tell you, any day they shoot us, police shoot us, we shoot back at them. They kill us, we kill them. Believe you me, UN will come in that same day. But if they're only killing you, UN will say, please, can you investigate the matter? Can you investigate it? And make sure that all the culprits are brought to justice. Is that not what they will say? But any day police kill us, we kill police back. They will say, please, what is the problem? What is going on? That time the language is not the same. What is going on means they want to hear from the zoo, they want to hear from us. But if they come and they kill us and they go scot-free, they will say to the zoo, please investigate and let us know. Every country you mentioned, the UN came in as they were fighting. For every year that we fought the war, Southern Sudan fought for 10 years. Guerrilla warfare. At a point, it became very, very clear to Sudanese that you must let these people go. Because they're not going away. They have fought for 30 years, they're not going anywhere. These are the things we need to understand. Had both Biafra, Organization of Freedom Fighters, are they going to the bush to continue guerrilla warfare? By now, Biafra will be a free country. But everybody went into buying and selling. You became very selfish. It's just about you and your son and your family. Which is why, go and ask people who are as old as we are, that grew up in the village and close to our father and our grandparents or uncles in those days. Ask them, since when did an Igbo man start saying, you
see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all costs. At all costs. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody.
There is no money in the zoo. If you don't take your money, start to withdraw your money from the bank. Oh, I have been saying it. The country is collapsing economically. There is no money in the zoo. There is no money. We have been warning you. Take your money away from the banks in the zoo. The zoo is collapsing. But some of you won't listen now.
You must understand this. The greatest task on this very earth is to get a black man to reason like a human being. The same way, it's just like trying to keep an Igbo man away from gossip. Hey, it's impossible now. Come on, for goodness sake. How can you keep an Igbo man away from gossip? Oh no, please, give me a break. Anywhere there is gossip, you find them there. Gossip, the gossip, is sweeter than honey from Igbo man. Gossip. Unverified rumors and gossip is like honey to them. That is how hard it is trying to remove the bottle from the mouth of a baby saboteur. Is as hard as trying to get a black man to reason properly.
The path we are pursuing is a path of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. And then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
Most of you who claim you own businesses everywhere in Nigeria, for that reason, you want everybody to die. Nobody is above death. Death is going to visit everybody. Just have to pray that you live and make impact in this life. The impact that matters now, as far as Nigeria is concerned, is not the impact to make people millionaires. It is impact to make people to be alive. It is impact to make people to feel secure. It is impact to make people feel they are free. That is the biggest impact you can make. Millions are going to come. People will become millionaires when they are alive. Of what use is it? You make somebody millionaire today and tomorrow he died by gunshot from Fulani. Of what use will it be to the society? You pick up somebody and send him abroad and he come back to Nigeria and police will kill him. It is happening every day. Why do you want to continue to be part of a country like that? Why? Is the question. Why is it that the Europeans are afraid of other countries within Africa, may follow up the breakup of Nigeria, and they would want to break up and form their own country? I want you to be able to ask yourself, why are they thinking like this? Because I have come across a lot of arguments where somebody will say, okay, they want to maintain Nigeria so that, because they are afraid. According to them, during the 1967-1970 Biafra, the issue was that if Biafra succeeded in breaking away from Nigeria, other African countries will want to follow suit. Now, I ask again, why are they afraid of that? My people, it is not about natural resources. Some people say they are afraid to lose natural resources. It is not afraid to lose natural resources. No. Of course, business is part of it. Business is part of it, which natural resources is also one of the factors. But this is not the issue. The issue here is not about the natural resources. Because anyhow, they are still going to have access to these natural resources. Somehow, they are going to have access to it. But it is not about natural resources. Well, so when natural resources is one compelling factor, but we should go beyond natural resources. It is time we begin to think beyond natural resources. It is not about natural resources. They are afraid of the economic power that will come from Africa when Africa divide along tribal line. Because you see, they know, they are afraid for you to know what they know. So it is not about natural resources. If you are thinking that it is because of natural resources, my brother, somehow you are right, but you are not right completely. You are getting the main point very wrong. The point here is that they are afraid of you adopting the system that made them what they are today. And what is that system? Dividing your country along tribal line. And
only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who and who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who in this restoration process. So on that note, I welcome everyone in the area of any indictment or anything, because we know our prime minister didn't do anything wrong. He is doing exactly what we are doing. All the killings that the Southeast and South delegitimized governors are doing, that is what our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa was preventing. That is what Nnamdi Kanu was preventing. And the whole world have seen how Finland took away our Prime Minister. And within that period, hundreds of innocent Biafrans have been murdered by Christopher Musa and Tinubu using the reintegrated terrorists that they imported into the Nigeria territory. That is what is going on. And that is something that Biafrans have risen up and said, no more. So we are still waiting for Finland to accuse our prime minister of anything. They've held our prime minister, going to almost 3 months now, 90 days. He did not commit any crime. But from what Finland has done, we have now discovered there is a history of what Finland is doing to suppress Christians, to suppress freedom of speech, and to destroy innocent Biafrans using the globalist agenda, which Finland is part of right now. That is what Finland is doing. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has not committed any crime. You put him away now, going to 3 months, because you partner with Nigerian state, a terrorist state that have very, very low score and record in human rights. Finland is now part of that. That is exactly what they are doing. How else could one explain holding our prime minister for almost 90 days without indicting him yet? You isolate him. You want to break him psychologically, and you think we are just going to sit down and watch you and your cohorts in Nigeria. Your cohorts in Nigeria, they will get it real hard. It's a promise.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining from. We appreciate you and thank you for being part of this program. Please like and share the program on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you so that they can join us on this very morning discussion. For those who are seeing our program for the very first time, or those who are joining us for the very first time, this platform where you're watching this program is a platform that is under the United States of Biafra. The United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze. That is where we stand. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. We don't come here for saga or blackmail. We do not come here to speak against any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to state the fact, to present our case before the whole world, very especially things that has to do with the United States of Biafra. We are here to speak up for freedom. Freedom for everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom on the planet Earth, regardless your race, your location, your religion, or whatever your orientation may be. As long as you are genuinely seeking for freedom, you are really welcome and invited. In this platform, more especially, we talk about the issues that have to do with the Biafran people. We expose the atrocities of the Zoological Republic government, the Nigerian government, against the Biafran people. The crimes against humanity that have been committed against Biafran people in Nigeria and the indigenous people as a whole. We are here to expose the atrocities that is being committed by the Nigerian government, supported by the British government. Something that has started very long time ago, right from amalgamation up to date. We expose the war that Nigeria is waging against Biafrans as we speak. A war that was declared live on TV by their Chief of Army Staff, Christopher Musa. He came on and said they are fighting asymmetric warfare in Biafra land. Later on, he said it was a jungle warfare. You and I know that war is not a game. For a military man to open mouth and talk about war, he knows what he's talking about. Unfortunately, there is no media that is reporting this warfare, how they are being carried out in Biafra land. The conventional media is not paying attention. The international media turn a blind eye to this warfare that is going on in Biafra territory. Many have lost their life. Children lost their life. Women and elderly lost their life. There have been abuse of human rights that have continued. Genocide have been committed on several occasions. And nobody is being held accountable. The whole world turned a blind eye to what is happening in Biafra land. And we have finally concluded that there is a global conspiracy against the Biafran people, simply because of what they are blessed with, the natural resources that Chukwu Okike Abịama have placed in their territory. That is why there is this global conspiracy against them. The world decided to support whoever is willing to extort these mineral resources from Biafra land and give it to them free of charge. And they have found a willing tool in that contraption called Nigeria under the caliphate with their stooge that are being sponsored by the British. They have continued to manipulate Biafran territory, steal from Biafran territory, take innocent life, commit different kinds of atrocities against Biafrans, and nobody's paying attention. Most of the things we complain and will say here is not something hidden. These are information that are in the public. If you are paying attention, you can have access to every single information that I'm talking about here. If you are not from Nigeria or you're from other part of the world and are hearing me, please pay attention to what is going on in the zoological republic called Nigeria. A terrorist country that continues to sponsor terrorists against its own citizens, not just in Biafra land, including the northern part of Nigeria, the southwest, the middle belt, and all around. Every indigenous person in that contraption has become an endangered species under that very government. After many years of these atrocities of Nigerian government sponsored by the British, we have decided to speak up. And for every single thing we are saying, there are thousands and thousands of evidence, which is before the whole world. Amnesty International have many. Those they saw with themselves, an eyewitness account. All this information are with Amnesty International. The report of the atrocities and human rights abuse of Nigeria is with Amnesty International. The United Nations also knows about the atrocity of Nigeria, but yet they decided to turn a blind eye because it is about interest. As long as their own interest is protected to exploit the resources in Biafra land and send to their land to develop their own area, they care not about us. They don't care. They don't give a damn what happens to you. That is why before their own very eyes, they will be watching. The rights of the Biafrans will be abused on a daily basis. Genocide will be committed and nobody will hold anybody to account. It is because of this interest. That is why today, the genocide committed in Biafra land from 1967 to 1970 by the British and some of the world powers who participated in that very genocide has not given account. Even they have refused to designate that very action as genocide. They pretend it never happened. Today, those who committed that atrocity are being celebrated across the world. Every one of us know that Geneva Convention forbids any human being or any person to use hunger as an instrument of warfare. It is forbidden and is a war crime. That was exactly what Nigerian government did with other international communities from 1967 to 1970. And millions of Biafran children lost their life. Up to this moment as we speak, nobody has been held account. Instead, those that participated actively on this very genocide are being celebrated across the world. And we sit back and we are watching. We have finally realized that our fate lies in our own hand. It is only the Biafrans that will set themselves free. That is why we have risen up to fight our battle and set ourselves free. Today is Monday, a very special day in the heart of the people of Biafra. If you are not a Biafran and you want to know the situation, please, more especially the investigative journalists, go down to Biafra land on Mondays and you see for yourself what is going on. The Biafran people have chosen Monday as a day to show their grievances against the Zoological Republic. A day Biafrans come together to uphold the delegitimization of Nigerian government in Biafran territory. A day we come together to demand that the Zoological Republic should remove all their forces in Biafran territory, and everyone that is serving the Nigerian interest in Biafran territory is no longer welcome. It is a day that will delegitimize all the government officials that are operating in Biafran territory, from the governors to the lowest and the highest offices. They have no legitimacy in Biafran territory. It is a day Biafrans come together and demand the unconditional release of our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you all know, is the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He was kidnapped from Kenya. It wasn't just kidnapped, he was kidnapped and tortured for good 8 days. After torturing him for good 8 days, he was extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria. As if that is not enough, they still have the boldness to drag him to their court. Today, our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in solitary confinement in Nigeria, and it's been 5 years and counting. Yet they have refused to let go of the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They refuse to let go of him. The late Muhammad Buhari said that they are not going to listen to anybody, that they are going to follow the court process from the beginning to the end. And we said, that's fine. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu followed the court process from the beginning to the last, and he won his cases. Some judges in Nigeria refused to participate in that case because they know what it is. Those that participated, most of them gave a fair judgment to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In short, there are some judges that said that no law court in Nigeria has the right to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case until they explain the situation surrounding his kidnap from Kenya and the extraordinary rendition. This information is in the public. One of the courts ordered Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with an immediate effect and pay him compensation. One other court said that he should be returned to wherever he was kidnapped from, and the normal process should be followed to extradite him if they want to. All these judgments are in the public. After Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have won his cases, instead of releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they continued to hold him, and they brought him back to the lower court to start the case afresh. All in the name of delaying him and detaining him. And already it's more than 5 years in solitary confinement. This inhuman treatment, abuse of human rights is happening before the whole world, and nobody seems to be paying attention. Everybody is going about their businesses. It doesn't concern them. They don't really want to know. But I bet you Biafrans will not be silent. And that is why we have taken upon ourselves to speak for us. It is our battle. It is only we that can tell our story. We know how we feel. And that's exactly what we are doing. Telling the world what is going on in Biafran territory. Even though they have turned a blind eyes to it. That will not change anything. Even though they continue to attack us on our platforms. They continue to hold us down on our platforms and make sure that our voice is not heard. But in the midst of all those attacks, we will continue to speak and pass this information to those who care. You never can tell. I believe there are still some good people out there. There are still some good people out there, even in those countries where this evil is being planned against the Biafran people. Because there are so many countries that are in this game, making sure that Biafrans are being held hostage so that they can be able to be stealing from Biafran territory. But I bet you we are going to fight this battle and we win it. It does not matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter the angle they might come from. We will continue to battle until we get our freedom. So my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching me from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu to please be steadfast and focused. Our Supreme Master Ghana has not committed any crime. That is why today being Monday, people on their own, without being forced, are sitting at home. People without being forced are sitting at home, demanding for the unconditional release of Master Nnamdi Kanu. And there is no going back until Master Nnamdi Kanu is released. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We will continue to demand for his release. So my fellow Biafrans, a lot has happened and continues to happen. But you must not allow anything to distract you from your freedom. We know there are so many distractions out there. There are so many confusions out there. But because of what is ahead of us and what we know, every one of us should be very careful. Pay attention to your environment. Always pay attention to your environment. When you look at Nigeria today, you can see that Nigeria has already been taken over by the terrorists. They have captured the northern part of Nigeria, and today they are pushing down walls to the southern part of Nigeria. They are fighting very hard in the southwest, and they are trying to penetrate the southeast. Fortunately, those who are supposed to speak are not speaking. And those of us that are speaking, we will not be silent. We will continue to speak. As long as we have life, we will continue to speak. The atrocities of the Fulani terrorists in Biafran territory will not be tolerated, and they are not giving up. If you are a Biafran today, you do not know what is happening. I am sorry for you. I am sorry for you. If you are a Biafran and you pretend you're not hearing what is happening, I'm sorry for you. You are going to pay dearly, and you will pay in a very, very, very hard way. That is why we are calling on Biafrans on a daily basis. Remember, Biafran government have already signed to law self-defense. You have the right to bear arms and defend yourself in Biafran territory. You have the right to bear arms. If you do not have arms to protect yourself, please do so. Go and get one. If you do not have any arms to protect yourself, do so. Self-defense is the right of every human being on the planet Earth. You have the right to defend yourself against your enemies at all times. It does not matter where they come from. It doesn't matter the angle. It doesn't matter how they do it. You must protect yourself. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program from, there is a big battle ahead of us. Do not pretend you're not seeing it. And you cannot wish it away. Your wishful thinking cannot take away that very crime, that very calamity that is coming. We need to fight. We need to put up a fight. How are you going to do it? It is by making the necessary preparations. And today, luckily for us, we already have a government, the United States of Biafra government, declared on the 29th of November 2024. That government today has an army of the people that is willing and ready to defend us. All we are asking for today is for you to rise up, support the Liberation Army of Biafra through the government. Every support you know you can give, whatever support you know you can give, please do not hesitate. It is time for us to raise the standard. It is time for us to fight like never before. It is time for us to do the right thing. My wonderful people of Biafra, we must prepare, because this warning has come for a very long time. Mazin Nande can warn us time and time again of the day that we are in. So many of us do not pay attention. Now the warning is coming again. The situation in the Zoological Republic is not going to get better. It is going to get worse. The only thing you can do today as a Biafran is to prepare yourself for what is coming ahead. The same thing with the indigenous people. They should make haste while the sun shines. Biafrans, we already have our defense. If anything happens today, Biafra will always survive, as we have always survived. But I'm asking that every one of us should sit up. Sit up. This is not time for play. And I want you to hear this message from this Maz.
Onye ọbụla relax yala. Onye ọbụla dizi obodo ajụọla oyi mana edi afụ mbibi nọ n'okpuru ede afịa pasta adị afịa ndị dibịa afọ ya ndị pasta afọ ya ndị niile na-eyi ụja ndị fada afọ ya ndị bishọp nọ na Igbo afọ ya ihe niile na-akọ ka ya ọga orejie ịgbago ụlọ ụka orejie dibịa agbago okwu arụsị ya orejie agbago echefuo TikTok orejie businessman ahapụ ebe ọ na-azụ afịa ọga na-adịgoro Igbo ready to ime Igbo ka eme ka asalent ihe akpọrọ Igbo. Finally, ihe na-enwe m iwe bụ na unu chefu one language trend sometime is a voice note ọsị na mgbe na-abịa mgbe unu nwa bụ ndị Igbo ga adịzi relevant na this country.
Una the irrelevant.
Now see, time shall come when Igbos will be no longer relevant in this country called Nigeria. Have you forgotten? Through that voice note na mgbe na-abịa in the 5 years to come na ndị Igbo amadizi relevant na this country. Shows you that no nwere nkwadobe a na-akwadobe Chineke abịa gbara anyị ama ya afịa agba anyị aya anụ ya mana ruo na o nwere ihe anyị menwu. 5 years to come. 5 years there now. I think use whatever 3 years in or so. Igbo will no longer be relevant in this country called Nigeria. Everybody is sleeping from comfort zone. Comfort zone. Ihe na-eme ayo. Ndị Igbo ihe na-eme anyị n'okpuru. Ndị Igbo ihe na-eme anyị n'okpuru. Ndị Igbo ndị iro gbara ya okirikiri nke ukwuu. Ihe niile ụrụ na afọ bụ nkịtị ka agbara na ihe a na-eche bụ ka eme. Efo na Getman gị bụ ihe enemy. Efo na Getman ga abụ onye iro. Efo na Getman ga arụ n'ahịa bụ onye iro. Efo na ndị ahụ na-agaga na street gị bụ ndị iro. Efo na ndị a niile kpakpakpakpakpakpa biko na ya dị enwe plan ya enwe ya na-akpọ plan. Eri mgbe niile a keri plan unu mee. Ofu onye nke chọrọ ime plan ka anyị wee nwee ike defend baba anyị eji ya na mkpọrọ. Ndị nke bụ ndị pụtara apụta onye ọbụla were zugbo ori were tọba mmadụ were ya mebe so many things. Ihe niile abụ distraction. A ga-eme mesịa ka i wee mara ebe anọ. Ebe distract agị ibido ka gbagarabasia maka na ụkọlọ niile na ọhịa niile na ụzọ niile unu ya ga ha amaracha anya onwere ebe fọ ebe a na-agbagotara gị mmiri n'elu flat go. Ọga anyị eri anya anyị mgbe na-adịghị anya. Sị na-akọ ibe anyị na-akọ achọghị m ikpọ onye ọbụla iyi achọghị m ịgwa onye ọbụla okwu ọjọọ maka na o metụta imi na ọ ga-emetụta anya anyị niile ga-ata afụfụ ya. O nwere onye na-eme nsọt o nwere onye na-akparị mana obibe na agwa ụnụ na anyị ga-ata afụfụ ya. O nwere plan anyị nwee, o nwere no plan, no secret. Ihe niile nwa bụ nke ndị Igbo nwere nwa ga-eji wee na-eme ruo mgbe aha sị ka amara ma ya eme ka aṅụ gbaba ndị mmadụ ma ọ bụ anọ n'ụra ma ọ bụ ndị mmadụ agbafuo. Ha ncha niile ka unu jiri bupụtasie ya, bupụta ya na soshal midia, bupụta ya na soshal midia. Ndị ahụ bụkwa ofu ndị ire ahụ amara na unu enwere ike. Unu bupụte, unu na-akọwa, unu na-ebupụte. No, nwere nothing, everything is open. Ihe niile eghe oye, o nwere otu ihe bụ dịka o nwere no defense. Now, ọ bụrụ na ịbịakwa kịta now, ijekwa ebe a now, efukwa na eje n'ugbo kịta, you cannot survive n'ugbo ha na na-ekwu okwu je gbugbu ugbo. Ha nọgo n'ebe a na-eri na-ekwosi akpụ gị, ekwopụ akpụ gị, enyi ewu, enyi efi, kwosisie ya, nwere ife ị ga-eme. Nobody! Ihe niile eji ekwo akpụ abụ ka ịma m ihe ewu iwe ka unu wee iwe mapụta. Ewure gosi unu m ha na-akpọ unu ewure kirie mgbe elele. Raiba na ụra onye ọbụla gara ụra mụ nke a na-ekwu mkpu egwu jakwa nje dị na nararụba ụra. Oge anyị eri anya anyị mgbe a bịara ara nwunye gị n'ihu gị, mgbe a bịara na nwa gị nwaanyị n'iru gị, mgbe a bịara dizibenyi na obere nwata anyị mụrụ amụ, mgbe a bịara megide nne gị, ma ihe ndị a na-eme gị n'anya na abụọ. Nnamdị Kanụ nwere onye ọ bụ o kwuru okwu ekwu okwu kwucha ndị mmadụ eje lebelụọ ihe ha lebelụrụ ya. Mana taa what is going on? O nwere onye Igbo dị serious, o nwere ma ndị igwe ndị achọghị m ikwu okwu ọjọọ, ma ndị igwe ma ndị binonia ma ndị binonia ma ndị onye ọbụla na-esi na white na-ekoko ka rarụbanụ na ụra ụzọ ama na-akpọ ogene ogene ọ dee gba anya n'ọdụ. No hope, no secret, just gbamasị bịaba ikpokoro police kpokoro amị ndị niile ahụ Igbo bụkwa the same people ahụ bụ ndị na-aga adịghị ọha ma bega ọha ma everything ọha na everywhere ha bụ everything. Ndị nwere plan dị ife afọ ndị nwere plan ka ịkpọ ndị nwere esoghị ị na-eko na-emegheri achọghị m ikwu okwu ọjọọ, achọghị m ikwu okwu ga-egbu gị iwe, mana ofu ibe nchọrọ ịgba n'ọbụ ndị Igbo bụ plank ahụ edebere anyị rigoro n'elu ya esigo otu adodo plank ahụ aka ebe nigoro nụ down plank ahụ ka eji aka na ihe ọ bụla egburu wụsọ frrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr ego go onye ihe gara no unu enwe plan anụ na gbo unu sabori nne onye pụtara na-eti mkpu a na-eti na-agwụrụ unu ọ nọ n'ime onweghị unu menwu ọpọna ọ dị mighty unu sịrị unu dị egwu unu nwelu ka unu ara na gị ma ị nwere ego ma unu elugo ma unu anaghị ma mmanwụ ma akwụkwọ gị nwa ihe niile egoro ife ndị a niile onwere ụbụrụ adịrọ no long term project ndị sị na ha mara akwụkwọ ndị sị na ha amala ibe ndị iji akpụ iyi eburu na-emere good arrangement a very serious arrangement in the next 5 years said by the voice note Igbos will be no longer relevant in this country called Nigeria. Go and sleep. Congratulations ndị Igbo. Una congrats. Thank you.
You have heard from this our brother. He has just made his own point. And it is good. That is why we bring all these informations, voices from all corners of all angles. Because if we continue to speak on our own, it will seem as if we are making it up. Or sometimes when you continue to hear from us again and again and again, you get bored. But you can see from the information that brother is passing out that there is a terrible danger in Biafra land. And just as he said, so many of us are not paying attention to this danger. So many of us are not paying attention. This rain that is preparing to fall, it is going to beat many people. It is going to beat many people mercilessly. You will say, had I known. You see the Biafran government shouting every blessed day, shouting for support every day, and you keep silent. Don't worry. The same way Mazen Nandekano shouted and shouted and shouted, and they called him a troublemaker. Mazen Nandekano traveled to so many places to talk to Biafrans, asking Biafrans to come out and support their own freedom. People never paid attention. Many saw him as a troublemaker. Many say he's talking too much. Some even branded him a 419. There's nothing they didn't call him. Where are we today? All you hear on the media today is Mazen Nandekano said it. Oh, he said it. Oh, he said it. Our Prime Minister, Mazen Samaneko, come on board. And he talked and talked and talked and talked. He didn't only talk, he began to defend Biafra land. Mazi Simon Ekpa established the United States of Biafra Army, and they began defense. All hell broke loose. The zoo ran mad. The chief of army staff became a social media warrior. Every day he was on social media, calling on our prime minister, running from east, west, north, and south, looking for support. And the saddest thing that Biafran people even joined him. At a point in time, even the Ohanese Hinandam joined him and began to call for the head of our prime minister. That is why sometimes when I remember this Ohanese Hinandam, I don't know what to call them. These are a bunch of criminals that has nothing to offer. And I'm going to play a video how Mazin Nande can describe them. These people that call them Ohanese, and they are the same. It doesn't matter who is there now, who is going to be there tomorrow, or who's going to be there next tomorrow. They have one agenda. They have one agenda to fight against their own. And I'm going to play an extract of what Mazin Nandekan talked about them. All these criminal Ohanese and the politicians themselves.
Them in Ohanese should be brought out and shot dead or hanged. These people are worse than our Salamajuri. They are hopeless. Ohanese and Dioshin and these are vagabonds from the depths of hell. These people should be hanged in front of their father's compound in their respective villages. Okay, Sona Panyenaji. Okay, Madana no Leuna Monobu. These are evil men. Because of money, peanuts. Because of 5 billion, they sold their right, the birthright. Useless, hopeless men. Ohanese don't care about you. They don't give a damn about you. They will sell you any day, any time, any second, any minute, without looking back, because they are the products of sabotage during the war. Everybody in Ohanese today was in MPN. Our Fulani party. They were the people that they chose to sabotage Biafra. That's why they went into Ohanese. Ndaran and Dioshi. Only fools can listen to them. Useless Ohanese and Ndaran and Dioshi.
That is how our student Mazindan can describe them. So when we talk about these people, when we say don't pay attention to them, we know what we are saying. It doesn't matter which regime. And that is why today, are you surprised that for you to have a leader of Ohanese, the governors will be involved, the federal government will be involved? Look at the one that just transpired few months ago, where they begin to manipulate. Some group were at River State making the election, and some were in Enugu making the election. They always have two parties. And when they form those two parties, the federal government will use their own to impose on the rest of them, and they have no choice, and they follow. Today, have you ever had the Ohanese Hinandama making a case for you for anything? Nothing. The same thing that the senators are doing in the House of Assembly, nothing. They are not working for you. They are there for themselves, pursuing irrelevant issues. One of the irrelevant issues they are pursuing today is the immortalizing Humphrey Wosu. That is one of the, in a time when you have serious issues, where people are dying, where Biafra land is under siege, that doesn't concern you. When it was time to talk about that Wosu issue, they never talked about it. In their present, the president whom Wosu conducted the election for him to win was immortalized. In their present, he was honored by the federal government of Nigeria. The vice was honored. But the person that conducted that election was not even mentioned at all. No mention of him. And none of them commented. Now, in a very serious moment when we are supposed to be talking about relevant issues, that is what they are discussing in the House of Assembly. When the Fulanis are taking over our land. When the British are using the Fulani Caliphate to dominate our land, take over our land, and make sure that our resources remain in their hands. It is sad. And you see how Mazin Nandeka described them. They are not worth living. They are not worth listening to. They are not supposed to exist among us. But some of you are paying homage to them. Some of you love them so much that you can't do anything, you can't do without them. It is sad. It is very, very sad. We, the Biafran people, have been made endangered species in our own land. Our land has been taken over. Every look and cranny of the land have been taken over, and people are living in danger. When you wake up in the morning, you go out, you're not sure you're going to come back alive. You can't be sure of anything. People are barely living in fears. And how can you continue to live in such a way? Biafrans have suddenly turned to cowards. They can no longer fight for themselves. When you talk, they ask you, why are you talking? When you speak, they ask you, are you the only one? They are busy fighting themselves instead of fighting the enemy that have come to destroy them. That is what some of us are doing. This battle did not start today. Our eternal leader, DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, did everything he has to do. The same sabotage is what he faced. The same sabotage. Our supreme leader, our eternal leader, DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, was sabotaged by his own brothers. The same thing our supreme leader, and he was also sabotaged. And today, our Prime Minister was also sabotaged by the same Biafran people. Today we have Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze running the affairs. They are still sabotaging. They are fighting, calling her names. It is sad. These are people that say they want freedom. And I ask, why don't you channel that your strength? That's your strength, that's your wisdom, that knowledge. You say, yeah, why don't you channel it to getting your freedom? Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze is not stopping you to fight your Biafra the way you want to fight it. She has not come to blackmail you or say anything against you. But all you do in your program on a daily basis is mentioning her name with lies, propaganda, and blackmails. And you think you can scale through. You will never. But it is sad that some of you that are doing that thing will never see Biafra because you have taken the oath. Some of you have sworn on live program, and you swore and say that if you go against Biafra, that you will not live to see Biafra. And we say, he say, everybody shouted, he say. Then you take this prayer for a joke. Wait for it. That prayer, when it begin to walk on your head, don't say you are not told. Don't say you are not warned, because the time is going to come. Wherever you are as a Biafran, every Monday should mark a special day for you to reflect back on what you are doing. Reflect on where we are coming from. Reflect on the challenges we are facing. When you look at the situation of Mazen Nanigan today, what is coming to your head? A man that committed no crime, yet they continue to hold him against his will. Will we continue to demand for the unconditional release of Mazen Nanigan, regardless what the enemies do? Mazen Simon Ekpa took up the battle also. And what did they do? They restricted Mazen Simon Ekpa. Today, the Finnish authorities still holding Mazen Simon Ekpa against his will. Even when they have no charges against him, they continue to hold him. And they expect us to keep silent. That all is well. We will not be silent. Mazen Simon Ekpa must be released unconditionally by the Finnish authority. And we know this is a global conspiracy. But no matter what the conspiracy is, we will not be silent. We will continue to demand the release of our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon.
Global conspiracy against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazen Simon Ekpa who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating, and it's been months up to now. No charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never
ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent life that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now. We will continue to speak. It does not matter what the enemies are doing. It does not matter their plans against us. We will never give up. Wherever you are as a Biafran, do not get distracted. Do not allow the plans of the enemies to get you. Remember, we have a task ahead of us. And that task is to make sure that we restore Biafra. This very assignment has been there from the time of our eternal leader, DPMDrNgoziOrabueze. And we must not forget this task. The war we are fighting is not just against the Biafrans. There are powers out there that are fighting to keep us down. They know whom we are. They know us better than we know ourselves. That is why they do not want us to succeed. My fellow Biafrans, let us listen to the message of our eternal leader, DPMDrNgoziOrabueze. One of the messages he delivered in his speech during the Civil War. Let us hear him.
Abandon us, then perhaps it is better we all perish.
Fight on, brave boys, fight on, heroes of our fatherland. Pursue the enemy, harass him, destroy the invader. March on, brave boys, now that victory is in sight. March on and hasten the disintegration of the enemy already set in motion.
Fighting a war, knowing the difficulties, the odds against us, there is an element of fatalism. People feeling, well, if the world chooses to abandon us, then perhaps it is better we all perish. They don't ever consider a Biafra not free. They believe in either Biafra free or no Biafra at all. That means none of us living to see it.
I need Biafra freedom. We Biafrans, we need Biafra freedom. For this, I decided, even to die, that Biafra must have its own freedom.
I want us to work systematically towards the establishment of a good, progressive, and democratic society where all vestiges of privilege and social injustice will be abolished, and the rich contribute more for the welfare of the poor. If civil war comes, and I do think it is imminent, you're quite right, it will for us be the price of freedom. Our people here have for a long time been prepared for this eventuality, and I am confident of their readiness. I think that when it does come, that the people on the other side would be surprised as to what they're going to get. And I'm confident that it will not last long.
We'll surely come out as a nation because we're fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so, as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
This is what Biafra is, the end of the journey for a persecuted, massacred, pursued people. We have made all attempts at a democratic resolution of this crisis. I have offered open elections, plebiscite. I have offered
just an open carte blanche suggestion. Anybody who can find a democratic way of finding out the wishes of the people, let him suggest it and we will go for it.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Holy, holy.
That was some brief extracts from the Biafran Civil War. You know, sometimes when we talk about this issue of civil war, to some people, I don't know, they feel it's a story that never happened. Sometimes when we talk about it, I don't know how some of us feel, because I see no reason a Biafran at this point in time cannot redirect his word and his speech and his actions towards the enemy. Every one of us know we have a common enemy that have continued to keep us down. We have a common enemy that we are supposed to fight. They have been committing genocide in our land since 1945. And from 1967, it became worse. And they came up openly to make sure they destroy us completely. By the special grace of Chukwu, we survived. And they didn't stop. As we speak, the plan to exterminate the Biafrans is still ongoing. There are many mass graves in Biafra land today as we speak that has not been identified, which should be identified after our freedom. When we have taken out the Zoological Republic completely from our territory, you'll be surprised what you will discover. You're going to be shocked what you will discover, because these informations are intact. The atrocities of Nigerian government in Biafra territory. It is high time we rise up to the occasion and face the real enemy. And by the way, the Zoological Republic and the Fulanese cannot face us. They can't. The Caliphate cannot face us. When it comes to warfare, they cannot. But we know those that are empowering them. We know that the British is playing a very major role to continue to hold us down. And they are sponsoring the insecurity you are seeing today. From the northern part of Nigeria up onto the Biafra land. It's still about their interests. That is why today, even before their own very eyes, their own citizen was kidnapped, tortured, extraordinarily rendition, yet they don't care about it. They don't care. They are still going about their business as if nothing happened. And when they speak about it, they expect us to clap for them that they have spoken about it. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. When they speak about these things, they pretend that it's just happening at their own time. There are many powers that are involved in what is happening to Biafrans. And if we must win this war, every hand must be on deck. The battle we are fighting is not just against Nigeria. There are international interests. People who are interested because of their economical interests. All they need is our resources. They don't want us alive. They will do everything to get it. Get it even free. And that is why you are seeing the manipulation you are seeing today. That is why you are seeing the global conspiracy against Biafrans. But I bet you, we cannot fold our hand and pretend all is well. It is high time we fight and get this right. I want to play a video before I allow my beloved brother Maxwell to join us. You're welcome, my brother Maxwell. Happy sit at home. So, on this very video I'm about to play, you are going to see an explanation that was made by the man in Burkina today, Traore. There are very striking revelations he made. And I want you, when you are listening to this very video, just think about what Biafrans is facing, what we are up against. In the case of Burkina, it is the French. But in the case of Biafra, it is the British. You can imagine what we are facing. I want you to listen to this explanation given by Traore.
These imperialist forces, it's simple. We denounce the agreement. Everything starts from there. I think the example of Chad in any case, by denouncing the agreements.
I want you to listen carefully. He's explaining the way to remove this imperialist, the way to fight this war and win it, which is exactly what the Biafrans are doing today. Denying the agreement. The evil amalgamation that was done in 1904, we deny it. We must remove ourselves from this British enclave. That is where to start. And that is what has been done. Through the declaration of the restoration of Biafra in Finland on the 29th of November, 2024, we have denied that very arrangement of the zoo, and we take ourselves into it. That is the first step to take, and we are taking that step. But it's not going to be an easy one. I want you to listen carefully on his explanation.
If you want to break with these imperialist forces, it's simple. We denounce the agreement. Everything starts from there. I think the example of Chad in any case is tangible. They started by denouncing the agreements. Otherwise, if we don't denounce the agreements, just saying that the bases leave, we haven't done anything. Because the problem...
Denouncing the agreement for us is the declaration of the United States of Biafra. The redeclaration of the United States of Biafra is our own denial of anything that has to do with the Zoological Republic and their British leader. So when I see Biafrans fighting against that declaration, it baffles me. You see a Biafran fighting against that declaration, and yet that Biafran is claiming that he wants freedom. How are you going to free yourself? What kind of freedom are you looking for? When you are still attaching yourself to your slave master, what sort of freedom are you looking for? You are just the same thing with the one Nigerianists that are pretending and shouting and crying when they can't make any move. When you are a Biafran and you are standing against the declaration of the nation of Biafra that was done on the 29th of November 2024, you are as the same as a one Nigerianist. Because you have refused to deny that thing that is holding you down, that agreement that is tying you down, that agreement that they signed up on your behalf without your knowledge, that agreement that made you a slave. That agreement was denounced on the 29th of November 2024, but yet today you see some idiots attaching themselves to that agreement and say they want to remain there. And then on the other hand, they tell you they want freedom. Sorry, it is a pity.
Lies in the colonial agreements, the defenses that have been signed since independence. The most dangerous is not the one you see in the bases. The most dangerous are the military advisors.
I want you to pay attention to these military advisors he talked about. We have these military advisors. They are so much in the zoo, and even among us Biafrans. Let him explain, then I will now tell you how they are into us.
Advisors exist in all these countries. They existed in Burkina as well until the end of 2022, until we took responsibility. And who are these military advisors? They are the ones who are supposed to implement France's policy. Here, they must work to make our armies very weak, so that France...
The military advisors, they are the ones who are supposed to implement the policies of the slave master among you unknowingly, and you think they are your brothers. They are among us, but their own objective is to implement the policies of the slave master. In the Zoological Republic today, you see them in uniform and off uniform. That is why somebody who called himself a human being in the 21st century will go back and bring back the colonial master's national anthem and remove the indigenous national anthem that was put in place by his own people. He removed it and brought back the colonial master's national anthem. In our Biafran struggle, that is why you will see some idiot who will be telling you about Igbo presidency. They will be talking about immortalizing one person or the other in Nigeria. All they'll be telling you are things that is going to attach you back, take you back to the colonial master, to that place you don't want to be. They will be giving you so many options, so many useless and unnecessary options. Someone like Putobi, who is ready to change everything about him to be a Fulani man in order to be a president. All these people are being planted by the colonial masters to serve their own purpose. To serve their own purpose. They want to weaken everything that has to do with you. That strength that you have. They are the people that are used, they were used to write petitions against our Prime Minister Manepa to weaken the struggle of Biafra. The same Biafrans, our own fellow Biafrans, some of them are with us today. They are still with us and shouting and talking. They want freedom. But their own role is to make sure that the colonial master's agenda stands unabated. Fellow Biafrans who are there only to serve the purpose of the slave master. Our land is under occupation in the hand of the Nigerian government sponsored by the British. And we are fighting to take them away from our territory. We have removed ourselves from our agreement by the declaration we made. And you see somebody who claims to be fighting the same thing you're fighting, standing against that very removal of yourself from that agreement. He wants to take you back there. It is sad, but that is the situation we are seeing. Let us continue to listen to him.
Can always have the argument to exist here. Under their influence, they had succeeded. Our sentinels were therefore standing guard with sticks. That's what France wants from our armies. When we reach this stage, we have no choice but to want them to come and settle. But the Burkinabe army managed to get rid of the military advisors. Unfortunately, I think that in 2019, after Operation Otapono, where the French saw that the Burkinabe army still had the capacity to respond to terrorists, they called the chiefs of staff in France. They instructed him to reintegrate the military advisors throughout the structure. Well, they did not agree. But upon returning to the country, the politicians instructed him to accept the military advisors. And that's when the military advisors returned to the Burkinabe army in 2019. With all the consequences we know, the army was on the verge of disappearing in the years 2020, 2021. And indeed, this is the time when many soldiers had to desert because there was no longer any hope. We were in the process of collapsing. That's a bit how they work at the General Staff headquarters. In all army headquarters, in the schools, they are the ones who are supposed to dictate the policy of our army. They are the ones who tell us when to recruit, how to recruit, and what to do with them. They are in the schools to tell us how to train them, and so on. As long as these military advisors are there, you are not independent. Your army will just have the appearance of an army that is there to perform parades, a circus. But when war comes, you will realize that a parade is one thing, but war is another thing. You have to break the agreements. It's the only way to have an independent army and build strength. But many people do not understand this, perhaps. And even with these agreements, France selects from our states officer cadets to go and train them. It's through these same agreements. But in reality, these officers who go to train, for the most part for France, they come to serve the French state in their country. They do not come to serve our countries. They train them so that they come to serve the interests of the French state.
While you are listening to this very man, I want you to continue to transmit whatever he is saying about now to the issue of Biafra, you begin to understand it properly. This is the challenge they faced. And this challenge is what every African country is facing. With the inclusion of Biafra, our own is even much more tougher because we are trying to take ourselves away from a fellow Black Africans that have sold their soul completely and taken the identity of the slave matter completely without even any apology. They don't even hide it. The case of Nigeria is so, their own military advisors and people working for British are so bold and open. Their own is, you can imagine that before you can be a president, you have to go to British. You go to Chatham House and speak, and they adopt you before you become a president. That is what is happening. And that is why we have to be very careful in this restoration of Biafra we are talking about today. There are people that have been planted the same way the British planted in the zoo, the same way the zoo and their caliphate have also recruited some people to join us in this very agitation. That when you are saying A, they will say B. They will try to use propaganda and blackmail to weaken you from what you are doing, to weaken your forces. You can see the battle we are fighting today in the Liberation Army. While we are talking about the centralization of Liberation Army of Biafra to make things easier to defend our land, some people are bent on recruiting militia. We have declared Biafra, and from that moment, what we operate is an army, a legitimate army, according to international law, and we obey all the laws. But some people want us to remain as a militia. They come and they introduce themselves as men on the ground. They have used the language of men on the ground to confuse many people that today, people no longer know their left and right. That even when you talk about the Liberation Army of Biafra today, some people get confused. But they prefer mentioning men on the ground. These are confusions that are planted by the slave masters, directly and indirectly. And this is just to translate what this man is saying, that he has passed through and what he's still going through. He's just sharing the experience for all of us to know what we are up against and what we face and what we have to fight. The internal enemy. The internal enemy. We must be aware of the internal enemy. They will always be there. These slave masters will never go without a fight. Sometimes they will be your closest friend. Sometimes they might be your brother or your sister. Sometimes they will be your benefactor. But I bet you, if you genuinely want freedom, it doesn't matter who it is. If they stand on your way, crush them and keep moving and never look back.
I can provide evidence of this. When we revolted, many officers in Burkina who were trained in France were immediately contacted to tell them that it was time to take action because you were trained for this, to serve France's interests. Most of these officers reported back to us. We took note and we continued to monitor. When an officer trained in France returns to his country and unfortunately dies, either by accident or on the battlefield. In France, there is a night of tribute to the fallen in the army, as there is everywhere else. During the night of tribute to the fallen, the name of the officer in question is mentioned, and it is said, died for France. They do not train him to serve his country. They train him to serve their state. And in many African states, there are plenty of such officers.
Did you hear him? The message is clear. That this colonial master, they train people put in your midst to serve them and not to serve you. That is why today, you see people that are benefiting from the British Empire. There is nothing you will do for them to support you, to have your freedom. That is why you'll be imagining, how can we know all these facts? How can they be taking the life of Biafra? How can they be making moves to take our land? They are not hiding about it. They will come and say it openly in the open. Yet, a politician will tell you to accommodate them. You begin to imagine, how can it be that these terrorists are coming to take our area? They are taking the life of innocent people. We don't have anything in common to them, and they are not willing to compromise in their project. You know that their project is to take over the land, and yet a governor, a politician is inviting them, rapporting with them, playing with them, even giving them land and telling you to accept them. It is because these individuals were trained to serve the purpose of the colonial master and not you, the indigenous person. That is why I tell people, every politician, it doesn't matter under which umbrella they are hiding, they are all a bunch of criminals and they don't mean well for you. They do not mean well for you. And they will never. Whatever they are pursuing is their personal interest and the interest of their colonial master that put them in the position where they are. My beloved brother Maxwell, please take the mic and speak to us. Let's hear from you, my brother Maxwell.
Thank you, and good morning to you, Mazi Chicks. Good morning to my brothers and sisters in the comment section. Good morning to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Good morning to my able Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and the pilot that is directing the affairs of the United States of Biafra and her cabinet members. I say happy Monday to each and every one of you, and the blessing that is tied to this day be upon all of you. I would like to use this opportunity to also say, glory be to God that our people are still sitting at home, to demonstrate their civic disobedience to the ordeals that they are going through in the Biafra land, has been occupied by the Nigerian terrorist government. May God continue to support you. Our people on the ground, the armed forces of Biafra that are taking care of the Biafra land, irrespective, despite the difficulty that they are encountering. I say, may God continue to bless you for the volunteer job that you are doing for your fatherland. Nobody is going to do it. You see this young officer, Captain Traore of Burkina Faso, our neighbor that is speaking the way he is speaking today. They volunteered. They were determined to do the right thing, and that is why you see them. I would like to see such spirit in our people. We can do it, and we can do it better than my comrade, Captain Traore Ibrahim. You see, when you look at what the video that you played right now, you would discover that the colonial imperialists, I call them colonial idiots, because I don't want to associate master in that nonsense, that nonsensicality. I don't want to associate master to it because they can never be my master. I was a master and continue to be a master before they came and used their divide and rule tactics to intimidate and capture us, put us into this subjugation that we all are in today. And why they were living as well, they didn't live entirely. They still left their footprint by appointing stooges that are going to carry out their instructions, policies in strategic places of authority in your country. That is what they do. In as much as they are far away in France, in London, in the United Kingdom, their eye and their feet is still in your place. They are watching you. That is why when you go to the embassies today, you have what they call the defense, what do they call it? That is a name they call it. I don't know if you can.
Defense attaché.
A defense attaché. Thank you so much. That defense attaché is what they used. And to add it up, they knew that if they only speak through words alone, that these people time will come, they will realize, just like Ibrahim Traore now has also, have done. See, what they do is to introduce what they call military aid to handicap you. You see, the military aid they give you is targeted to make you weaker and weaker and weaker. They will sedate you. They will make you weak so that once you are receiving this military aid for quite some time. You will become addicted to it. You will not do anything. You will be so lazy and lousy to derive or bring out your own military policies that's supposed to guide your own country. As long as you depend on them, they will give you this military aid in order to make your own military answerable to them. Take, for instance, Mazi Chicks and those that are listening to us, the January 15, 1966 coup. Look at all the officers that were involved and look at all the officers of the Nigerian army as at that time. Where were they trained? Where were they trained? They were trained in the United Kingdom. The tradition of the United Kingdom is what they placed into their heads. If you ask me if that 66 coup was a good thing, coming from where I am, I would tell you no. No, it wasn't. Who orchestrated it? The same people. Who orchestrated the first rigging of election in Nigeria? The same British people. They were the same people that came out to antagonize the Yorubas and telling them that, oh, they had an election, men grew, men become pregnant overnight. I don't know, in Agbada, I don't know whether you remember that, that phrase, that men grew pregnant overnight. Yeah. The same British people. They will see you when you want to make. The reason why they carried out that coup, they instigated that coup, was the growth in the old eastern region known as Biafra. That was the reason. We never had any political restiveness in that particular place where there are small little problems, as though people were also, crying of marginalization and things like that. But it is not as worse as it is today. In order to scuttle the growth, the massive and rapid development that was going on that time, if they allowed the old eastern region Biafra today would definitely be a force to reckon with. They discovered that, they saw it earlier on before our people. They manipulate the system, because once you hold the system, all the adjoining regions would definitely collapse. That was what happened, and that they succeeded. And those of us, our parents, our grandfathers, uncles, and aunties that said, no, this thing cannot happen. They targeted those people that were growing their economies, that were all over making headways. They used divide hate to deal with them, and they started. The manifestation was the killings that you saw on the street right across Nigeria. That was what happened. They would never allow you to stand on your own, because they believe, as they are colonial idiots, they believe that you cannot do anything without them. There is something I sent. If Biafrans will come together, there are quite a lot of things that are going to change. If you remember, I do not know, I sent it, we were on the, is it on the Drake? Yeah, Drake's platform yesterday, when I sent what one of my elder man sent to me from Aba State. A Russian pilot that confessed, regretted at last, I think at 80 or 90 years old, for partaking in the bombing of the Biafra land. I don't know whether you have seen that, this Mazi Chips.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, good. Did you know? Did you see the note that was under that thing? What the usage of electromagnetic camouflage in the military that the Biafran people adopted way back 1967. Did you read through that? Did you read through that? Good. That is to know who you are. If they allowed you, in fact, the man went forward to say that Russia is still studying that electromagnetic camouflage that the Biafrans deployed on Omuma camp in Aba State as at that time. You think that these people are fools? That they will allow you to produce things that you are going to use to stand toe-to-toe against them? That is the reason why they do what they do. And the only country that has the countries that have broken that jinx is Mali, Burkina Faso, and the Niger Republic. These people cannot be dictated upon anymore. These are Francophone countries that are, in fact, you see, because of these three nations now, you see some other Kepu countries are trying to join them secretly. I think it is going to be brutal. They are now encouraged to join these people because they have seen changes in their policies, changes in development, and changes in the formation of their military and the avoidance of AIDS. Have you seen any Anglophone country, including my own Ghana, come out to speak? Rather, what they do is to use them to go there and begin to round peace, talk peace. Like my current president when there was talking about peace, democracy, peace. If the military is necessary to put things in place in Burkina Faso, chase away their colonial idiots, then why will you not go and begin to tell them about peace and democracy? Was it not democracy that they were practicing there? The democracy that these people are practicing that is yielding them fruits, good, policies that makes their people live to a standard, a living standard. Is that what they are allowing you to do in Africa? That is the reason why Biafrans can never, because Biafrans enjoy rule of law before they came. Affirmative measures were there in place in Biafra land before the colonial leaders came. The leadership and ruling types of leadership that they had that time was working for them before these people came and scuttled it. And they fought, they defended it, but they had allies that joined them to defeat us. And we are coming back. And the Biafra is that standing point. Biafra is that object at that vantage point that is going to, take us back to where we were before and develop ourselves with the knowledge that we have acquired today and place Biafra where it's supposed to be. That is the reason why I fight for Biafra. And you cannot know the reason why you are fighting for Biafra. I am fighting for Biafra for a total freedom, restoration of the dignity, and the worldwide recognition of that country as a sovereign nation with great people. With great people. I have seen countries that are less than 200 and something thousand. They are leading themselves. Example is Barbados. You have other countries. Okay? Nobody is going to stop us from what we are doing. That is the best thing to do. And for our people that are doing the needful, I thank you so much. Please bear in mind that we must emphasize this. The rumors and the hate speech that is going on against the Igbo-speaking Biafran, in fact, the entire Biafra land, including Oromi, must be put to a halt. I have seen the people that are perpetuating evil on the land that is not yours, that is not theirs. When we retaliate, the terrorist government of Nigeria will now call for our heads. That must be stopped. No Biafran person must be harmed because of the, retaliatory attempt that they made on these people. And I ask again, from Kano State to Port Harcourt is about 1,000 and something kilometers. 1,090 something or 50 something kilometers. That is the distance in kilometers. I have never seen, even in the United States, where people are going from up to that kind of distance to go and hunt games. What games were you hunting in Rivers State? You were hunting our women, you were hunting our sisters, you were hunting and grazing on our lands. And when you discover that you have made enough money, you chartered Dangote truck, place all your proceeds of crime in Biafra land and begin to go, because Dangote truck cannot be searched. It has the, what do they call it? The duty, what is it? The duty free. Whether it's the duty free or whatever.
To use anywhere.
To use anywhere. He has the guarantee, the support, the warrant to travel anywhere without being searched. But the luck ran away from you and you were caught. And when they caught, they say they are hunters. When they caught the Fulani terrorists, they call them bandits and miscreants. Before, they called Boko Haram bandits and miscreants. They will not call them the name they deserve. They are calling these people now hunters. It is only in Nigeria that people would do something. Instead of them to speak the way it is, they begin to round the issue. They begin to bring out names that I've never heard before. They are terrorists, they are terrorists. AK-47 was discovered there. And I am surprised that the Nigerian army and the Nigerian government today is now going there to arrest. Go and arrest. If you cannot arrest the people that started this problem in our farms, stopping them from crying. Ibanke has been crying. Uromi has been crying. The entire Edo State has been crying. Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Rivers, Bayelsa, all of them are Bible. Cross River have been crying about the menaces of these Fulani herdsmen terrorists. You refuse to curtail them, you refuse to tempt them. And when we respond, just like you did in Southern Kaduna, when the people responded, that was the time you knew that you can go there and keep peace. But when the other people you consider your special children, the golden children, Fulani terrorists, are menacing our people, you will not come out to speak. Even your media cannot speak about them. If not social media, we won't know what is going on in Biafra land and right across that evil entity. We will not allow anybody to deal with the Biafrans wherever they found themselves in that zoological republic. We must not allow that to happen. They must be protected. I thank you and God bless you. I yield here.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. Thank you for touching to that very aspect. And I believe my fellow Biafrans are prepared. If you are a Biafran and you are still residing in the north, or you are not in Biafran territory, just like our Prime Minister has said in the past, that we have limitation to what we can do. The Liberation Army have limitation to what they can do. Our main focus now is to defend and protect the Biafran territory. If you are outside the territory of Biafra, you must have to prepare yourself for what is coming. And the advice I've been given several times for Biafrans to gather themselves, put themselves together, arrange themselves and gather themselves for self-defense in the place they are. For a very long time, Biafrans have always been victims. Whenever something happens in any part of the world, they will face the Biafran people, even when we are not involved. The same people that will come and tell me that somebody who is from so place is not a Biafran. This person is from the so place is not a Biafran. But when that person commits a crime or commits an offense, they will now unleash their anger on every Biafran, wherever you are. But when it comes to normal life, when we identify those who are Biafrans and those who are not, they will fight us and say it is not true. The most annoying is that even the people who are Biafrans deny their Biafranness until when it comes to a difficult side. They deny their Biafranness, and we face the consequence. We will suffer the brunt of all the whatever they commit. Anything that happened to them, they face us. But it's annoying that when we tell these people that you are Biafrans, let us fight, get our freedom, and every nation can be on their own. Biafra is a country. There are nations inside that Biafra. A nation and a country is not the same thing. Biafra is a country of its own. Inside that country, Biafra, there are nations. When you talk about a country, you talk about geographical space, the map, the geographical space that put us together. That is a country. That's how you describe it. But when you come to nations, people that have the same tongue, the same value, the same culture, people that speak the same language, they are nations on their own. And in Biafra, as a country, there are many nations. Let us unite together and get ourselves away from these colonialists. Get ourselves away from them. Then you can be on your own as a nation. These people identify us as one people from the same country, but it is only the people themselves, the Biafran people, that say some of us, we don't know whom we are. We don't know who we are. Now the stage is set again. And you see, when something happened, the first people to threaten is Biafrans, the Igbo Biafrans. They begin to threaten the Igbo Biafrans wherever they are. And I believe we have learned our lesson. Don't say you are waiting for somebody to protect you. The Biafran government have passed a bill for self-defense. Defend yourself by all means necessary. Don't wait for anybody to call on you. And the time is now. You're welcome, my beloved brother Greg. Let's hear from you, Greg. Go on and speak to us. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, choose. Good afternoon. My greetings to you all and to our brother. Thank you so much. No. Thank you for the good work. And my greetings to all the Biafrans who are present today. You are doing a good work, and we continue doing what we are supposed to be doing. For the world to be hearing our voice every day, as long as we are still alive. Those who are alive will show that they are alive. That is the reason why God gave us life today again. So I thank you one more time, and I thank all the Biafrans, and my greetings go to all the people fighting for Biafra, to our leader Mazna Nikan, and our PM Simon Ekpa, and our Deputy Prime Minister DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, and all the cabinet, and all the men and the media, and all meaningful Biafrans who answer every day the call to speak out and fight for their people. Those, the armies in Biafra, who are genuinely with humbleness and spirit of obedience and discipline. Those who have already been given all they have to fight for their people, to make sure that there is freedom in Biafra land. If you are wearing today Biafra military uniform, you will understand that what we are doing is real and not joke. Because there is no time, and there is no way a reasonable thinking person will carry gun or bullet or machete or anything that is weapon and trying to kill you, and you're coming out to defend yourself, and you still see it as a joke, and you still see it as not being real, or maybe there is another person that will come that will make it to be real. or make what you are doing to be real, or you're waiting till when Nandekano will come out, then it will become a real time to fight for Biafra, or when Simon Ekpa will be there before you will know, yes, this uniform I'm wearing now, it has meaning. No, it's not like that. If you're on the uniform today, any day you wake up in the morning and you have that uniform and all the equipments that you're supposed to have to defend yourself and your people, you are no more looking to when Simon Ekpan is out before the command will be real. So everything is on progress as Simon Ekpan planned it, and the fire must go higher and higher and higher. So any person that trying to come to you to quench the fire, you tell him, Satan, get you behind me. You know he has turned to be a Satan who want to stop the movement as God planned it. Because that is what the enemy normally do. When the enemy want to cripple in, he will use your brother, your sister, to tell you, no, you can calm down small, go and rest. Because that is what Peter wanted to do to Christ. He said, no, how will you die? He will not die. You. He want to show Christ that he loved him so more than his father that sent him to the world. Then Christ look at Peter and tell him, get thee behind me, Satan. Even though Peter was the man that he called the stone that where he will use to build his church. But at that particular point in time, Satan wanted to use Peter to stop the mission of God. And Christ cast him away. Say, get thee behind me, Satan. He didn't say, get thee behind me, Peter. No. Because there is a spirit that entered Peter at that point in time that Christ was talking, commanding to go out. Say, get thee behind me. So that he will not use Peter come and stop the work that my Father has sent me. So anytime any person continue telling you to, you know that that person has turned to Satan, no more Peter. So you have to ask him to get thee behind me. That is the message. So, what are we talking about? And why are we fighting? We are fighting because of the injustice. We are fighting because we have no hope being in Nigeria. We are fighting because our people have sold their souls because of money. We are fighting because of our future and our children's future. We are fighting because we have turned ourselves into the second slavery in the whole world. All the Biafrans are feel all over the part of the world doing another kind of enslavement. This one is the one that you have to come and beg, I want to be slave. And they will look at you and know if this is the one they want. So, if it's not the one they want, they will not give you visa. If it's the one they will allow you, and they will be clapping your hand that you have been given visa to stay, to be a slave in the land that is not yours. So what are we talking about? We are talking about freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I hear my brothers speaking about the work the Burkina Faso man and the many of them who have opened their eyes to understand what is going on in the whole world. What is happening is the Western people doesn't want another person to open their eyes. The Westerners doesn't want you to be a human being. They want to remain their subject. You remain their slave. And there is no other way they will do it than to make sure that any day they give you bread, you tell them thanks, sir. Just like what they are, the African politicians, especially the Eastern politicians, are doing to the Biafrans. You know? So that is why everything we'll be talking, we'll be carrying it our own side. Because you can take, what do you call it, you can take horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink. So we have been trying to make other lands to understand what is going on in Africa. So those who want to wake up are waking up, like Burkina Faso, Guinea, what do you call it, Niger. Some of them are waking up. And we that started bringing the exposition, we that started opening the eyes of the Africans. The Fulanis are holding us down because of the 1914 amalgamation. So that is what is going on. And there is no other way we can come out except when we fight. There is no model that any person that wants to be freedom will do or would act except by fighting out himself. Just like when they say pray yourself out. Fight yourself out. There is no style. There is no style. So anyhow, they resist every evil until the person by all means. The most important thing is that you are free. So that is what the Biafrans are doing. So, because when you look at what is happening, you know that our leaders are the one that is holding us down. I hear when this Osita, what do you call it? All these Eastern politicians were speaking. When they come out, they will speak as if they are serious. They are not serious for anything. They are all gamblers. Look at what happened between this one, the one they call somebody Ebonyi or what? The two the lady in Anambra that is working with Soludo and the one that is in the Senate. Look at the way they were insulting themselves. It's always the Igbo people that's kind of mess. What are they fighting for? They are fighting for something that cannot benefit any of the Igbos. None of those senators have risen up and condemned what have been happening in Namufu, or condemn what is happening in Enugu, condemn what is happening in Ebonyi. How many of them have come to the Senate and say enough is enough? Have you heard any of them did that? No. How many of them have risen up and said you have to use yourself, go for self-defense? Have you seen any of the Senate raise any issue like that in the Senate? Tell me one particular issue or one particular thing that any Eastern or Biafran Senate have raised in the Senate platform that they pass it as a law that will benefit his people. Just if there is any, please, you people that is in the house here can just mention one before I proceed. Just from all the whole senators that come from Biafra land, both from the one they call South and the Southeast. Tell me one of any law they have passed that favor their people. Or they want any law. Is there anyone? None. So, what are they doing? They go there to...
Master, can I come in here? Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, man.
You see, how would they do? They are all in bed. Their anus, let me put it, their anuses are open to their paymasters. They have so many skeletons in their cupboard. They are selling their own youth, their own brothers, standing against the injustices that is even meted at them in that National Assembly, the coven of the evil forces. None of them has the capacity. They have sold their dignity. They have soiled their hands by eating and dining and whining with the demons that are tormenting us. We are fighting them. They are dining with them. What courage, what moral do they have to stand and say things that are going to benefit our people? They will not.
That is the point. So, what is the essence of them? Every 4 years, they will come and tell you, vote for me. And they have not benefited for anything. They have not passed any one law. They have not agitated for anything that will profit their people. And every 4 years, they will come because of the money they are making. They only go there to make money and come back and bring the Fulanis to kill his people. So that is the problem. Look at what happened in Urobi, in those states. After the killing, now they turn it to be Igbo killing. The Igbos are killing the Northerners. And why are they doing it? They want to present the Igbos as evil people, so that anytime they kill them, they're justified. Now they have arrested thousands of, many of them. Why are they arresting them? They arrest them so that those people, villages, none of them will rise up to defend his people when the Fulanis are coming. That when you hear that they have arrested those people that fought these people and killed them, you will not come out, because when you come out, they will arrest you. And then the Fulanis will have access to their ladies and their mothers and their sisters and rape them and kill them and destroy their farms. So that is the essence of those arrests you see. Then the question is, how many Fulanis have they arrested in Amufu, in Enugu State? Amufu, in Enugu State. How many Fulani have they arrested in Abia State? In those places they were selling cows and they found a grave that contained more than 300 corpses. If that kind of thing happen in any part of the north, will any Igbo man remain talking of his business?
They will level the market.
They will level the market and kill all of them. Not even law. When they kill this Deborah Christian, how many, even though they know the classmates that fought this lady and killed her, how many of them were arrested? No single one. How many Fulanis have been arrested in all those places that have been killing people in Yoruba land? Going and arrest them in their business place and arrest them in masses? Nobody. But now they have gone to the village to arrest even the innocent people. Probably the majority of them will not even know what happened in that Uromi. And they are still targeting it. The Igbos are killing the Fulanis. So is that not good enough for people to understand they must go home? How many of our Eastern politicians have come out to condemn that kind of statement and say, why must you tag the killing of the Fulanis in Uromi, Igbos? Or is it the government that have condemned it and said, no, don't carry these killings to the Igbo people, they were not the Igbos? Or is it the police that have come to say it? Have you heard the police say, no, those people were not Igbos? So these are the gang up against a particular people. Against a particular people. That anything that happened, they will present you the Igbos as the evil in Nigeria. And still they don't want to allow you to go on your own. To go and go with your evil. Without your evil, they want to hold you by all means. And you are not getting the message. So that is the point. We continue crying every day. That is the point. We continue coming out to speak so that the world will be hearing our voices. We are not talking it because when we speak it, maybe if any European or any American or even the useless African people, neighbors will hear and raise a voice and say, those kind of judgment or injustice is not good. So that is the point. So it's we, the Biafrans, that will rise and fight against those things. And I thank God that some part of our southern people are raising up like this Uromi people who see those kind of evil and fought against it. Because people will not understand it. If it were Igbo man that have this kind of business of Dangota, every time they will find him with the Fulanis carrying guns and using truck to transport them from one state, from one part of the country to another, all those terrorists. That Igbo man business must have been banned, and then maybe by now they must have charged him as a terrorist as well. So, but nobody's talking about Dangota's trailers and all those things. It's not one, it's not two, it's not three. Both killing people and going out without nobody asking questions. So these are the things we are talking about. So then you ask about the what do you call it? The Uromi people. So they want to make sure they stop you for fighting your rights. And if it had happened in the Igbo land, the same thing would have happened. The governors would have gone to every villages and burned it and said arresting their people. So that is the case. And in our place, in Anambra, in Imo, in Enugu, in Ebonyi, in any part of Biafra land, when they catch any of the terrorists, they will ask him, "Did we touch you? Did we beat you? Did we do anything?" He will say no. It's okay. Because that is the order from the governors and all the politicians and all the billionaires that invite them who are giving them share to come and kill our people. But once an Igbo person or any Biafran commit any little crime, he will go scot-free. They will kill him. They will not even take him to police and they will take him to court. No. They will kill him instantly. But when they catch the Fulani terrorists, they will ask him, did we touch you? Did we beat you? On the camera, he will say no. And when you look at him, you will see that he was very, very untouched. Nobody touched him truly. So that is what we are facing. So it shows that the tribe that owns Nigeria and the tribe that is enslaved in Nigeria and the Biafrans are those ones that are being enslaved. So, and that is what we say, enough is enough. We can no more take those kind of enslavement in our land. Let them dissolve Nigeria and let everybody stay on his own. If you are coming to our place, then they will give you condition. If we are coming to your place, you give us condition as well. If that condition is okay for us, we will come. If it's not okay for us, then we will remain in our land. It is in every part of the world. So I don't know why they find Nigeria on too difficult. So that is the thing. So we will continue fighting. The inner fight we are fighting will not stop. That is one thing we must know. Because the British and the Nigerian government are not sleeping. They want Nigeria by all means. So they will be using either me and you who will accept to do that job for them, to do it very well for them, so that they will be betraying everything we are doing. But by God's grace, they will be failing when God will be detecting them one by one. And they will be seeing them, and they will be being, the whole world will be knowing them, and they will be ashamed of all their evils every time they misbehave. So I thank you, my brother Choose, and all the people who will be coming and contributing in this. So that is my case in this moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. You have spoken well. Today, as I have said before, every one of us should know that today is Monday, a day that we come together to demand the unconstitutional release of our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. We come together, we ask for the release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. It is a very special day. And the whole Biafra land is on lockdown. Nobody is being forced. It is something that Biafrans have decided within themselves. And it's lasted for more than 3 years now, still counting. And we will continue to do it until we are free. So wherever you are in Biafra land, don't expose yourself to danger. Don't say you are not warned or you are not told. Just try as much as possible to stay safe. Our enemies are not relenting. They know that their days are numbered and they are fighting from different corners, different angles. But I bet you they are going to fail. In a very short while, the Egyptians you see today, you will not see them anymore. And I pray that it will be so. My fellow Biafrans, we must continue what we are doing to evangelize, to pass information to other ones, and to continue to support the national state of Biafra financially, most importantly. It is very important. The battle we are fighting is not a small one. We are fighting against the globalists. And you know these globalists, they are mean. Very, very mean. There's a video I'm about to play now, and I want us to pay attention to that video. In that video, you are going to get a clue of this British and their globalist agenda. These people do not want Africa to succeed or move an inch. Whenever they sense a kind of relief in Africa, whenever they sense that Africa is about to get a face, they will always rise with one excuse or the other. So I'm going to play this video for you to see. The same way they gave excuse of fighting Biafra in 1967 during the Civil War. Their excuse was that if they didn't do it, Russia will do it. And it's about dominating, about taking over our resources. That is what they are still after. Up to this moment as we speak, that agenda is still on. That is why any place they see a light in Biafra, they will try to quench that light with one propaganda or the other. They will manufacture propaganda from one angle and tell you. Either they tell you that your government is a dictator government, or they tell you that they don't want military government. who the hell are they to choose for us who we are going to use? Our system and theirs are not the same. Our morality are not the same. We have our differences. The way they rule themselves and the way we rule ourselves is not the same. Things that work for them cannot work for us. But they try to impose a system against us that will help them to be able to extort from us. That very thing they did in 1967. They are still doing it up to today. Look at Traore, who is today building his own country. They are coming from all angles, making him some Jewishy offer that doesn't have anything to give to the people. And when they bring this offer, their center is on the man who is in power. They want to entice him, try to give him some fake promises that doesn't hold water. And some of us Biafrans, some of us Africans that have small mind, when they make these promises, we are carried away. How can somebody be promising you something you know you can afford, and yet you are carried away? All these gifts they are giving you is something you can get even when you build your country and your country start functioning well. You can get more than that. Most importantly, respect and dignity to yourself. But most of the African leaders, I don't know where their mind is. They entice them with promises, fake promises that doesn't hold water, and they fall for it. I want us to listen to this video. Before I play that video, okay, let's listen to the video. Let's listen to that very video that was made for you to see the British agenda. Their wickedness never stops. Instead, they are manufacturing different types, and they will never give up until we force it out from them, just like Ibrahim Traore is doing today.
Region, one of the poorest, yes, yet fastest growing demographically. The succession of military coups will make the region more unstable for years ahead. Russia is both influencing and benefiting from the crisis, and the region has become fertile ground to the rise of terrorism. This is of direct concern for Europe, for our security and our prosperity. So we need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have shown towards Ukraine. This is a must.
Now, this very message of this woman, this speech of this woman revealed the criminality of these Europeans. These people are a bunch of criminals. They are criminals, and they are the cause of the problem we have in Africa. These Europeans. Look at the statement this woman is making. Let us follow that statement gradually, and you will understand the evil in these people.
Or think about the Sahel
region. Remember that this woman is a British.
She's a British.
She's a British. From her accent, she's a British. She's a British representative, I think, in their, is it the European Union or whatever, the meeting that they had in Davos. I don't know the place they had this meeting. I don't know.
It should be one of those, their European criminal agenda or their Western useless ideology. So let us take it a bit. It's a very short video, so let us take it gradually and analyze it.
Or think about the Sahel region, one of the poorest, yes, yet fastest growing demographically.
The Sahara region, they say one of the poorest and the fastest growing demography. They are concerned about the Sahel region. This African region is a headache to them. And it is not because they are concerned about you and I. It is not because they are concerned about the people living there. It is about the resources we have. That is where this concern is coming from. Just like they made it clear in the other clip I played the other day, where the British man was saying that if they do not sponsor Nigeria against the Biafrans, that Russia is going to do it and then take over the resources. Every time you see these people talking about Sahel region, it is not about the human being, you and I that live in there. It is about our resources. I want everybody to have this in the back of their mind. Whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran, any part of African people, this is, anytime you see them speaking, it is not about you. That is why today they will sit back in their nation. Even when Mazen Nandekano is carrying their passport, he was kidnapped from Kenya. Mazen Nandekano did not travel to Kenya with Nigerian passport. Mazen Nandekano traveled to Kenya with British passport. And they went to Kenya, kidnapped him, tortured him for 3 good days. The kidnap wasn't enough. The torture wasn't enough. They extraordinarily renditioned him to Nigeria. And today, the British government could not offer not even a single sanction. Remember during the time of Umaru Diko own was an attempt. They did not succeed. An attempt to kidnap Umaru Diko, even though Umaru Diko was a criminal. An attempt was made to kidnap Umaru Diko. What did the British government do? The airline that was supposed to use to extradite Umaru Diko was sanctioned in British. They seized it. Everybody that participated in directly or indirectly, they were all captured and they were all sentenced to prison. So many people that were connected to that very kidnap,
including the Israeli secret agents that were involved were jailed. Nigeria suffered more than 6 months diplomatic suspension with them.
Exactly. And Umaru Diko was not a British passport holder. Umaru Diko was not a British passport holder. But they went to that length to impose sanction on Nigeria, and everybody was connected to that very atrocity. But ask me, why is it that now, in 21st century, somebody that was holding their passport has been kidnapped, tortured for 8 days, extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, and yet they are doing nothing about it, not even a sanction. Instead, they are busy strengthening their bilateral relationship with Nigeria.
Mazi Chicks, forgive me. I will continue. Once you get to this one there, I will continue to interject you. Forgive me. And our listeners, please forgive me as well. I remember that I okay now.
Go on, my brother, go on.
You see, there is something that we are not aware of that was happening in the house of our leader in the UK. Something I am suspecting. There is something that was happening. Do you know that Mazi Nnamdi was having serious family issues, relationship issues with the wife? Do you know that? It is there. Mazi Nnamdi was not happy because the partner, the helper he chose, was not in alliance with the ideology of Mazi Nnamdi. So many things were going on underground. Look, let me tell you, the escape of Mazi Nnamdi for me escaped through the Spirit of God to Kenya. Do you know Mazi Nnamdi was criticizing England, United Kingdom, and their government policies against the Biafran people and those that are affected by their ugly policies. They couldn't try him. They knew that they cannot try this man because it is within his right to do whatever that he was doing. They now infiltrated, let me use this way, to make sure they were setting the wife against him. You know what it is when you lay your hands on your wife or get angry to, you are mistakenly or forced to lay your hand on your wife. That could have been the end of Mazi Nnamdi. That was what they were targeting. Mazi Nnamdi failed to fall into their trap. And when that heat was going on, only God knows why Mazi Nnamdi left for Kenya. And I will relate that to the prophecy he made. He said, I will go to Abuja. I will march to Abuja. I will destroy Nigeria under their backyard. And that is exactly what he has done. Prophetically for me, that is exactly what he has done. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, my blood brother. Yeah, what you said is true. Is actually what transpired. Sometimes we don't like to dig into that areas to just limit ourselves to certain issues because of certain things. So when you look at the manipulation of these Westerners, somebody wrote on the comment section, he said that this woman is a German. She's a German lady. She's a German lady, German defense minister.
Okay. She has. She has an accent. She has an accent of English. Is it not Jamaic? English language is Jamaic and whatever. They are together, my brother. Thank you for that
agenda, this globalist agenda, they are part of it. They are all part of it. They are all part of it. So when you see them talk about Africa, it is not about you and me as an individual. It is about the resources. Let's continue to listen to him.
The succession of military coups will make the region more unstable for years ahead.
You see, when they talk about this succession of military coup, they are saying it because of the Biafran states that have found their feet today. Niger, Mali, and Burkina. There is no other way you can be able to take yourself away from these people except this military way. In Africa, conduct your election 1 million times. It is the same thing. If you go back and check the African countries that have somehow succeeded in the past and later failed, it was still through that military takeover. Because it's only the military that they cannot have absolute control on. The West cannot have absolute control on the military. When Gaddafi came on power, Gaddafi came as a military man. Until he transformed himself and came into as a civilian. And he did excellently well. He took himself away from everything westernized. And until death, Biafra, and until death, Gaddafi had the best government in Africa. The best. Forget about all this, their propaganda and blackmail and nonsense they were saying. He was providing for his people. And I'm not saying that somebody told me, within that period of time, I visited Libya. I was in Libya for almost 2 to 3 years. In the presence of Muammar Gaddafi. Almost their people were living free of everything. Free of everything. Electricity is almost 100% free. Their petrol is almost 100% free. Health, education, you got married, you got paid, you have children, you got paid. As soon as a child is born, an account is opened and that child has money to himself. Today, Libya, in the next 1 million years, can never find a government that will be benefiting them the way the government of Gaddafi was benefiting them. But the West came with their, what do they call it? Come with their propaganda and all whatnot. What's that? Their nonsense, nonsense language they always use and bring to us. You must be democratic. You must be a democratic government.
No, they accuse him of human rights abuses.
Human rights abuses. Human rights abuses. But these people are the greatest human rights abuse on the planet Earth. Up to this moment, the human rights abuse against the Biafrans from 1967 to 1970, using starvation against children, a war crime, genocide. Even they have refused to recognize that as genocide. Human rights abuse against Biafrans, they refuse to recognize it because they are the ones in the front line perpetrating those human rights abuse against us. The exploitation of the coastal region of Biafra land is human rights abuse. There is no human rights abuse more than that. There is no human rights abuse more than the exploitation of the coastal region of Nigeria today. A place where the golden fowl that laid the golden egg is dying of hunger, no food to eat. Look at Niger. Niger, if you have not visited Niger, you will not know what Niger was suffering. In Niger, with all the wealth they have, a country that have uranium in a higher scale, and yet Niger, people there can barely feed. You go there, you see children flying into their noses. They can't even afford 1 square meal. You go to Niger, you'll be wondering, how do people survive in this area?
You are very right. You are right.
You will be surprised, how do Nigerians survive? Niger people survive. And yet they have uranium upon which they are building France. What is that, their capital? Paris. Paris is being littered up, celebrated as one of the best cities in the world, funded by Niger. In a Niger, where you go, you see children they don't have clothes on them. You see them lying down on the ground in a desert, fly entering their noses. They eat the fly, they eat nothing, nothing. This Niger Republic, which human rights abuse is great. And even after they have been able to recover themselves from these idiots, it was discovered that they were taking this uranium almost free of charge, free. Uranium that they said is around $200 per gram or whatever. But they were taking it free.
They were paying
less than $1. They were taking less than $1.
Yeah, they were paying them, I think you can check, let someone check. I think they were paying them less than $11 for every, is it kg, this or so, or gram that they took away, which was, I think, what about just like the amount you mentioned.
Something that is $200 in the market.
Yes, they give them $11 or $12, and they have control over it.
They have control. They measure it. They only tell you the quantity they want to tell you. And even that they steal and tell you, they dictate the quantity, they scale it by themselves. Nobody monitor them. And yet they buy it cheaper. Which human rights abuse is greater than that one? The Zoological Republic called Nigeria, when we go down in Biafra land completely, and we begin to dig out after we have gotten we have established on the ground. If they tell you how much resources that the British are stealing from Nigeria, you will cry. This petroleum that you are buying a very high rate in Nigeria, British is taking it almost free. Even in 21st century, they are still laying pipe to take gas free, unmeasured. Just like when they come, sometimes you hear, oh, they are stealing Nigerian oil. They mount a ship in the high sea.
Where do those ships go to? Is it not Europe?
My brother, do ordinary people buy crude oil? Do ordinary people buy crude oil? Is it not a transaction between governments and governments? Where do they refine it? Can any ship move from one point to the other without the world dictating it? They have their satellite everywhere watching.
Even to the extent, once a ship, you have your goods in a ship that is coming, let's say, to Ghana or Nigeria. They will give you a tracking system. You, an individual, right on your phone there, you'll be tracking where the ship is, where the ship has gotten to, where it has been discharging, and so on and so on, and when it's going to get to a place. But these people with this powerful navigation system cannot. But all those things will just move away from Nigeria with undetected. And you say, don't leave these people alone. They are evil. They are evil.
These are people that will come and preach human rights abuse for you, to use it to destroy somebody who is building his own country. Look at what is happening in Congo today. Congo, one of the richest countries in Africa, with mineral resources, that is building the world. Look at how Congo is living.
Mazi Chooks, there is a video. I don't know whether it was you that played it or you for 247 some time ago, where a Caucasian man, an European man or so, was boldly saying in that video that what is happening in Africa is good, that they love what is happening in Africa and the way it is happening, because if they allow Africa to grow. He said them themselves in Europe or the Western world would die. That was what he said in that video. I don't know whether you have come across that video.
I think I've seen it. I've seen such video. It is so sad. It is so sad. These same people, the annoying thing that it is these same people that will come and preach to you to tell you about human rights abuse. Meanwhile, they are the real abusers and they continue to abuse on a higher scale. Look at this woman today speaking. This speech she's making now is because of countries that have decided today to take themselves away from that calamity. You are talking about Niger, Burkina, and Mali. Today in Africa, these three places now are the best people ruled by the military. Their military government have taken over and begin to take back their land. Look at Burkina in the front today. Look at what that young man has been able to achieve within the space of some few years. And Russia, that have decided to back them up. You will see how today, using that blackmail of Russia again. That Russia, that if they don't do something, Russia is now using it as an advantage. I want you to listen to you hear her mention Russia again.
Make the region more unstable for years ahead. Russia is both influencing and benefiting from the crisis.
You see? Now they drag Russia into it. Now they bring Russia. What wrong had that somebody wake up to support something that is good? How is that a problem? That was how they fought Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump was preaching against the globalists and their evil agenda. People that have decided to turn against the will of God and provide their own will and impose it on people without minding. They take away common sense from people and begin to plant a different thing into their head. And somebody comes say, we must apply our common sense and let things be the way it is, naturally. They come against him. They put different kinds of propaganda. Today, Russia coming out to support people to stand on their own. How is that your problem? And now they are beginning to try to come. You see her trying to compare it with what is happening in Ukraine. Today, what is the fate of Ukraine? What is the fate of Ukraine and what is happening in Ukraine? Is it not you people now in the West that are abusing the right of the Ukrainians? Even when the Ukrainians say they don't want the war anymore, they are now forcing them to continue to fight the war through their president, their stooge. And these people will come out and preach to you about human rights. Oh my God. It is sad. Let us listen to
Mazichuk.
Okay, sorry. Go on, my brother.
Mazichuk, sorry. You see, Trump came and called Zelensky the stooge of the European, of the European. He called him that he needed peace. He needed that war, ceasefire. That was what they were campaigning on. Immediately, this guy, Trump gave his own, what do I call it, proposals to him. Do you know that Zelensky agreed? Zelensky agreed for ceasefire. Yes, he agreed for ceasefire. But immediately, there is European, UK, Starmer. Immediately, this man agreed. Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, flew straight to France. They had what they call emergency meeting. Emergency meeting, I think, in France. Starmer of UK flew to France to meet Macron. That was where they begin to do this shenanigans that they are doing now. They try to make Trump, someone that is bad, someone that doesn't support them, and so on and so forth, for brokering peace. Look, these people are. You see that war. They are preparing now to send troops to Ukraine. These people will lose in that war. Russia, you see that one country, Russia, will dirty them because they are the cause of that problem. You promise Russia that you will never at any time, bring the thought of bringing Ukraine into NATO. That was the agreement that you people had. You brokered it. Just like this same UK forced the zoo to, rescind from the agreement they had in a Buri. The same thing that they are doing now, the same thing, the same system, the same tactics, the same divide and rule to conquer, the same thing. And that is what they permitted into the mouth of the caliphate regime in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. You just made it. That's exactly what they're doing, playing games.
And the region has become fertile ground to the rise of terrorism. This is of direct concern for Europe, for our security and our...
You see, they land in terrorism. And you think they care. These people are still the same people sponsoring this terrorism. The terrorism in the Sahel region is sponsored by France. And there are evidence to that. This period that Burkina, Niger, and Mali have been able to remove themselves from it, you see how protected they are. Are they complaining about terrorism anymore? The terrorists have no place there. They can defend their land and they can fight and protect their region. In one of the interviews I saw Traore, do you know that these people, they go to the extent of limiting you to the kind of weapon you will have? No matter how the enemy is equipped, they will give you restriction to the kind of weapon you will have to fight the enemy, even when they know that your enemy has superior weapon. And this manipulation is what is happening in Nigeria today. That when you see the Nigerian military as if they can't do anything, it is from the top. It is from the top. Just these are the people, the advisors that Traore talked about when I played his video here. They advise them on what to do and what not to do, and to stand down. Oh, don't fight them, don't eliminate them. They are your people. Oh, if you do that, they continue to make sure that those terrorists remain there to continue to draw the attention of the people. So when they keep you busy with that, they will be in the other side extorting your mineral resources. And when they talk about terrorism in Africa, you think they care. They don't care about you. They don't care. Today, Biafra is offering a remedy to the whole world to stop these terrorist activities in Sahel region. But yet, they don't care. They do not care. They have seen the Biafran people, our agenda, what we want, it is clearly stated. The problem of Nigeria is because of the interest is not the same. Putting people that have different interests today together can never work. The value system of these people are not the same with us. And we're asking that let every region be on their own. Divide people according to their tribal lines and let them be there and defend themselves. This is a very simple thing that you will do, and you will have freedom. Everywhere will be calm. Immediately, the interest that they are chasing will die a natural death. But they will not do it. Every state in Nigeria has resources that can be able to protect them. Why don't they go their separate ways? Arewa go their separate ways. The Oduduwa go their separate ways. The Biafrans go their separate ways. The Middle Belt be on their own. Why is it a problem? It is a problem because once we do it, development will come. They'll begin to feel threatened. Just the way they felt threatened during the time of Michael Okpara, when we had the Eastern region. They were threatened because they saw the development that we had in Biafra land then. Every time they see that Africa is about to stand, they will fight it. It doesn't matter who you are. But some of us are ignorant of this. Some of us, idiotic people. They will keep you busy fighting. Oh, he's an Igbo man. They will keep you fighting. Oh, don't allow this Biafra. Where every time people are talking about Biafra, talk about your own. Talk about your Oduduwa. Talk about your Arewa. Talk about your Middle Belt. Why are you not keeping yourself busy to talk about your freedom? Why are you still trying to keep the status quo that is making you enslaved? Why? Including the terrorism we're talking about today, the sponsorship is coming from the West. And there are evidence to that. Not just from us. The evidence is everywhere. But these same people will still come and preach to you, human rights abuse. Human rights abuse. But look at the abuse that is happening today. Look at the case of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. A man who you have been held in Kabinikodo for 4 months now, without any charges against him. No charges whatsoever. You say you're investigating. You are investigating. And for the past 4 months now, he has been held in Kabinikodo. And at the end of the day, You will tell us he's guilty or he's not guilty, and you pay compensation. When life has been lost, what crime has he committed? Defending his own land. And you, the same law, international law, told us that there is right for self-defense. People have the right to defend themselves. But when a Biafran defends himself, you tag him a terrorist. When a Biafran defends himself, you call him names. You call me a secessionist. Look for name or the other, I call him. We cannot bow to this double standard. We must stand up and fight and free ourselves, and the time is now.
Prosperity. So we need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have shown towards Ukraine. This
unity of purpose. What is the unity of purpose? To keep us enslaved and continue to divide us for themselves and share resources in Africa for themselves. That is their unity of purpose. All the European countries, their unity of purpose is not to make you an African to have a better life or make you an African to live good. It is not. It will never be. That is why we, the Biafrans, have taken our own fate in our own hand, and we don't listen to these clowns. They're making no sense. It is about them. And one of the things that when they say it, they make it a must.
It is a must.
You hear her? That is the must. To keep us down, to enslave us and continue to extort from us. We demand for the unconditional release of our Supreme Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the immediate release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And we will never stop until we get our freedom. Thank you so much, my beloved brother Maxwell. Let's go on and round up on the program. We've got to be rounding up now. Give us your round-up comment and include it with your closing remark at the same time so that we can round up the program. Go ahead, my brother Maxwell.
Thank you so much. You see, the gathering, the video that you just played now is what has been happening even when they were here, you know, subjugating us, maltreating us, killing and doing committing all manners of abuses on the indigenous people in Africa. Even when they left, they did not go in a hole. They left part of them into this place. And how did they manage to control our people is by establishing their own people, planting those that are responsible, those that will be answerable to them, and empower them. And when such people wake up to begin to see, no, I cannot continue with this, they will find one way or the other to eliminate that person. History is there to teach us so many things. They did it to Kwame Nkrumah. They did it to this Thomas Sankara. They've done it to Muammar Gaddafi using terrorism. What terrorism? When I went to Libya many years ago, I did not see anything terror in Libya. There were houses, unoccupied government houses. Unoccupied government houses, agriculture. Apart from Zimbabwe, Libya was the second food basket of Africa. Because I saw them when these workers go to pick okra, go to pick bitter balls, go to pick vegetables, lettuce. If you see them as if they are going to work in the refinery, NNPC, well-dressed, fed, and when they pay them, they convert their dinar into dollar. The dinar into dollar. For 1 year, when they come back to Africa and tell you that they were in Europe, you won't doubt them because they were paid handsomely. You finish your school, you don't have a job. The government will continue to pay you until you get your job. That was what I saw in Libya. When you borrow, it's interest-free. That was what I saw in Libya. Life was good, but in it, there are people, stooges, that were not happy with what he was doing. They used that, they capitalized on that to begin to fight this guy. And one other thing that increased the bombing, the regime change against Muammar Gaddafi that led to his death was when he received those people that were involved in Lokabi bombing. and give them a heroic welcome. I think it was Canada first that struck Libya before the rest begin to come. And they now introduce their own people. The ISIS that you see today, all of them were people that were groomed and trained to go and destabilize them.
Of course.
Now they can no longer control them. They can no longer control them. They can no longer control the finances that these people are getting. They are now fighting against the interests of the West. That is the reason why. Now tell me, if this woman who foolishly said that terrorism is growing in Africa, were there not French military bases in the Francophone countries for many, many years? Were they able to curtail the excesses of the terror that they created? Were they able to control it? Look at
my
what...
My brother Mas.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that it was these people that gave the world, even the terrorists you have in the Middle East today? When they removed Saddam Hussein, before the removal of Saddam Hussein, were you seeing this kind of terrorism in the South, in the Middle East?
No, now
Saddam Hussein was checkmating these criminals. They were checkmating these terrorists. They were there, but they were not effective. But immediately they removed Saddam Hussein. You see how Middle East have turned.
They empowered them. Their actions empowered them. And they always want to, if this West is not in bed with you, they will find one way or the other to give you that bad name to hang you. This is what they have done. And as they are doing it, they are selling their weapons to these people to go and fight. And on the other hand, they are taking your resources. These people have the technologies, the equipments. As you are fighting and killing the other people, then they are behind there taking your resources from you. That is what they do. This is what these people do. Now I ask this woman that is here, who are you to determine the kind of leadership that we are going to have in Africa? Are you my mother and my father? How stupid can you be? Are you my father? Even there are limits to which a father, parents, can even, talk to their parents. Once you become 18 years and above, you become an adult. You are capable of making decisions by yourself and take responsibility of it. Who are you to tell me the kind of leadership that I have? I love Ibrahim Traore. The people love him. They are now feeling the impact of good leadership in that country. They are fighting terrorists. They brewed, they grewed, they protected, just like Nigeria is protecting their own terrorists in Nigeria. The terrorists that you protected and sponsored in Burkina Faso are being chased away now with the sophisticated UAVs that he bought from Turkey and Russia. When you were there, what did you do? You are gone in Mali. You are France. You are gone in Mali. You are gone in Niger. You are gone in Burkina Faso. Soon you will be gone in Ivory Coast and Benin. I know that they are also doing the whole thing. Your influence in Africa will be weighted to that level that the world will know that Africans are serious. I am still waiting for the Anglophone to stand. The lily-livered Anglophone politicians, I don't think that any of them will start, because what they are benefiting from, the evil controlled by their colonial idiots. My brothers and sisters in Biafra land, when you look at this last video Bazichik played here right now, you will know that hoping on these people is a waste of time. The resources that God has given to you, please deploy it, and deploy it very well. Deploy it to free the land of Biafra. Deploy everything in cash and in kind, and get ready. Get ready to participate when the time comes. Because for me, you are okay that you are watching here. I am ever ready to participate when I am called upon. We need weapons. We need that access. We need grounds. in order to stand and push this evil away from the land. That big elephant that has taken over our land, that these corrupt European, Western, countries are supporting to their own benefit. We cannot allow them to continue to make mockery of us. We want you, all of you that are living in these developed countries, to come back home. We have good climate. Can you survive? If not, do you know what you go through to be acclimatized? Do you know what you suffer anytime the winter sets in? I experienced it in Russia. In Russia was about 17, minus 10, minus 12. I was crying. If not that it was a military cause, I would have run away from there because I've never experienced such thing before. Until I went to Yugoslavia. So these are some of the things you people need to come home. You cannot be working in a place, helping them to develop where you are, your ancestral land is, lying fallow, getting ready, God forbid, for the enemies to take over it. Thank you so much. And as you do this, I say, may God continue to strengthen and prosper each and every one of you. Bless you in everything that you place your hand, so that it will be enough for you and to pay a little out of it. That tithe. I didn't say you should not pay your tithe in your churches if you want to, but I would prefer for you to pay that tithe in things that are going to free the lives and save our young girls from being molested. That is the best tithe you are going to pay. Thank you, and may God bless you. May God bless Mazen Namdekan. May God bless Simon Ekpa. May God bless Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze and her cabinet members. May God bless you, Mazi Chicks, and the likes of you. Those in the comment section, I say may God bless each and every one of you. Happy Monday to all of you. I yield.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother Max. I appreciate you for your support and all your effort on this program today. I thank you so much for immense elaboration and explanations that you have just done and you have always done for us. We appreciate you and we pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect you. My fellow Biafrans that have been with us on this program from the beginning to the end, I appreciate every one of you. Please like and share the program if you have not done so. The social media is not our friend. They are trying everything they can to cage us and see that our message doesn't go far. But with your support, we can go a long way. Please try and support by sharing the program. I thank you all for being part of the program. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect every one of us. I pray for our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze. I pray for our Supreme Leader, Mazen Namdekan. I pray for our Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Ekpa, for divine protection, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I pray that we shall overcome, and very soon, victory shall be ours. No weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. Wherever you are watching this program from, those who are in Biafra land and they are observing the sit at home today, please continue to observe the sit at home. It is something that we must do to set ourselves free. Do not be discouraged. No matter the challenges, the propaganda and blackmail, do not allow yourself to be affected or deceived. We must continue to preach this gospel. We must continue to speak up wherever you are. Do your best. The government is our government. The United States of Biafra is the way to go. The United States of Biafra, under the command of our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, wherever you are, give your support to her. Give your support to your own government. You are not just doing it to Dr. DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, you are doing it to yourself. If you do good, you do yourself. You do bad, you do yourself. It is your choice to decide what you have to do. As for us, we have chosen to serve Biafra, and we will continue to serve Biafra. And everyone that has made that good choice, Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to guide and protect us until we get to Promised Land. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you again next time. Stay blessed.
Against the Biafran people. At this moment, we use this media to demand the unconditional release of the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, who the Finland authority have held incommunicado for long now. They say they are investigating
And it's been months up till now, no charge has been brought against the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. We hereby demand the immediate release, the unconditional release of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. The global conspiracy against the Biafrans is unacceptable. We will never, ever accept it. It doesn't matter how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silently watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent lives that are being wasted away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
Natulaje bwana mabuli vemelem Ojibe kuna tulane bovo Timalugo no nugodo kokodo nyano be hule hule Dani mona tulilu Naya kalakana kwa lerinu mwangulu Ngula matali woso jere futa mbaka njuba diali Ama abulezi okwenu Na baka la kelwe gonezi enwe Nubocha kala kelwe gonudezi Maka na baba neno wa aralu nunuteyi Umu Biafra kunyenwe Umu Biafra kunyenwe Unanu kwa ni mono nuno mono nezi biakenenwe Ono nenu lila tono na nagulugu seji tono nugu bana tayi Kanyi wele fobi wena tabanu banyo Makana juko no 1 million no we bofu wa mabulezi okwe Naka ni kwata milake kwa wacha sienyi kakesu ezo pabule bewelo tamano Umo Biafra kuyenwe Kanyi wele fobi wena tabanu banyo Makano fobi abakama Lala nugo noe Mo Biafra na bekele umulina Nkabo nkanyi Mwadati na ijele wanyi bekele mi Okwage bulu kwekene na fande otu Biafra is our hope And the Biafra is our religion Nkodi na wata chieza muno bibu onye iwere Wesi ya kene rugio Adubagwo chukwo Ikemba one of Biafra land mongwem Adagune kala ya dike Ma fondi mojiri diebu mebi de biche vele mongwem Abusiku dogweji mali bonine Dogweji malo Biafra miya Dumegwo chukwu Papa gisi kene logi Philipu Efyong Abuzi kwa mwake kuloku wekusi okusi na Biafra ekunye Na yabu Biafra ya tulugo wenata Unabulu na yabu Biafra ekunyigo Loko guli mwata na kanane ele Abagise kene logo nyendu manzi nande kanu Amadike Biafra kedebe melike. Amadike Biafra bialu.
For the simple reason that she has no jurisdiction to cry more. None whatsoever. I came out of the accused from my case and cannot try my case. There are things that are happening in this country that a lot of you do not know. It is my duty to make that very, very clear to all of you today. Because the lies are too much. The lies are too much. I sent a petition to NGC is using her position for personal gain. Her son and her husband are facing corruption charges. They told them that if they convict me, this is what happens. Nobody wants to do it. That's the problem. They sent her to my case. So they can
the Biafran government in they know na exile cabinet bi anolo numwe. Ono ekene unu jisinu ikene. Na chukuna ndana ya agba unu ube. Baka no yesu lobi ya toka imaluge nuwe. Jisinu ike. Kadelo mondi Biafran Liberation Army Umuchukwu. The angels of Biafra land the great oracles of Biafra na no. Anuwe kene nunama. La no jisi kenon. Natugo ya ba ume. Umuchukwu. I say can the Prime Minister H.E. Masi Simon Webber. Abuzi kwa bato biyo. The best. Atwele li umu Biafra bianulu. Anonganga pio tembe wile name. The one I just show you will not see. Lina ni ukubia o. Kudwa komili na kwa nunu. Yes. Mwana kwa mubia keneli o. Odagiri dimu. All the guys send me so to. Ose fukulu bilo bia nunu we. Makwale na kosa de malanya. Mweji mwagu kojilo sinodilo kasojilo yatiji sojilo wewalasa. Muzikwe wabatobi. Pagada gididi kebya nunu. Mweji wepala niyo. Tujine tukunyele di Biafra na nunu. Nuna beke nege. Asimona ya dele Biafra ni le namma. Asino ya dele ni le namma. Mandanye na bono mweno utela nyi welienne. Mandanye na bono nudonu no mwe. Makana mbona boke kwe na bonike. Moya na no, moya no. No be voye the belly no wama believe emeleme. A good legacy will last forever, ma believe emeleme. And the remembrance of my bless you.